Everybody out there, this is FD from Rolling with FD and What's to Play, and you've been invited to the Super Bowl after party. Here we go. You just got through seeing some guys get smashed. This is our time dedicated to the hobby, to sit back, relax. The game is over. We're going to chill, talk cards, sports, other collectibles, and much, much more. We have breakers, vendors, those who host shows, collectors, and much, much more. This is a great time for us to come together as a community and have some fun. So are you ready? Are you ready? Welcome to the Super Bowl after party. What's up, everybody? How we doing? I have one of my favorite people here. G is here with me. He's been Super Junior is here with me. G's been running point on AV stuff, making sure things are correct for tonight. And we have Super Junior here. Super Junior, you want to tell the people anything?
Yeah. Who do you think is gonna win the Super Bowl? Do you think the Tigers are gonna win it, or do you think the Rams?
That's right. Who do you think? Who are you picking?
What are you thinking? The Rams or the Bengals?
I'm picking the Bengals.
I'm picking the Bengals too.
Okay.
Every time I said Rams, I forgot to say Bengals.
All right. Just so you all know, Junior was with the Rams in the first half. And then right after that Dr. Dre performance, he said, you know what? I think the Bengals are going to win. Right?
No, I was going with the Bengals the whole time. Every time I wanted to say Bengals, I accidentally said Rams.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's the way that went. That's the way that went. All right. So, Junior, say goodbye to the people. Tell them what you want to tell them before you go.
It is a great time out here. I just love watching the Super Bowl, just looking at the Super Bowl, and just seeing the Super Bowl. But there's even more to do at the Super Bowl. You can just the Super Bowl might be like playing football or something else. Like you can chillax for a minute, which I love to do.
All right.
I love chilling wax. Like when you get a timeout or an interception, you get to go out. But I don't think that's bad because I love chilling out.
All right.
It is a great time.
All right. So we're gonna have Junior say goodbye. He wanted to come say hello to everyone and kick off this live. So hold on a minute. We're gonna have Junior step out, but he wanted to say what's up first. Hey, what's up, everybody? Junior wanted to come say hello. G wanted to come say hello. I'm appreciative of everyone that's here. This is going to be a great event. It's going to get the community together so everyone can kind of have a little celebration after the Super Bowl. Just to give you an update, I have the Super Bowl on right here on the side so we can get some updates here. We're in the third quarter. Cincinnati's up 20-16, and they just put some pressure on Stafford here with a sack. So let's jump into this and say hello to everyone before we really get to going here. So we got To the Moon. What's up, To the Moon? Can't wait to have you on today, talk to you. Let's go. Sydney. Hi, Super J. Yes. Adam Spiesman. FD. Was it you that was real high on James Wiseman? I just got a few nice cards of his. Yes, I'm really high on James Wiseman. I think he has a lot of up potential. He's a big man that has touch on his shot. He can shoot the three. He can post up. He could even run the court if he needs to with the ball in his hand to lead off a fast break. So I'm big on Wiseman. Adam, let me know what you got. Any cards of his that you got I think are good cards. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player. I appreciate the way Golden State is taking their time and allowing him to heal properly before bringing him back. I also read that he had a second surgery on his knee to promote healing. So, and I think to clean some stuff up. So hopefully we see him soon after the All-Star break. I know he's been in. I watch Wiseman all the time. I know he's been in practice. He's been doing more physical drills. They're taking him through the same protocol that they took Klay Thompson through. And we saw what Klay Thompson did last night, 33 points, hitting threes all over the place, playing with desire and passion. I see the same thing for Wiseman. What's up, Ray Bans? Thank you for rolling with me. I appreciate it. I'm rolling with Ray Bans. I'll be in cardboard. Joe, yeah, To the Moon is here. To the Moon. Sydney, come on, Rams. Now, you all know that I have the Bengals winning tonight. You know, I appreciate the Rams. I just don't think it's going to happen tonight. I think this game, I was saying this week, is going to be the game that kicks off Joe Burrow and the next generation of quarterbacks in the NFL. And I think you're going to hear news articles all week long after this game about Joe Burrow taking the baton from Tom Brady, the next on greatness. We just saw a stat in the game about how Joe has won a national championship, been a top draft, #1 draft pick, about to win the Super Bowl. All this happening in consecutive time periods. And the only other person who's done that is Joe Namath. So that's great company to be in there with. Let's go. What's up, Gavin? What's up? Good to see you. Twan, hello. James will be awesome. I truly believe so. I think he's going to be great. He's also in the offseason spent some time with Kevin Garnett, learning kind of that big man, that mobile big man's game, off the glass, post moves. I think he's going to be a wonderful player when he gets up and running. Demetrius, I really appreciate you being here, sir. You don't know how much I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. I think we're going to have a good time tonight. It's going to be real cool. I'm very excited. Albert, we're rolling, man. That's how we keep it, right? We keep it rolling. Oh, Adam said, I bought 3 card raw lot, 2 orange cracked ice, okay, and a red, and also a rated rookie out of 199 PSA 10. That is going. All those are great cards. That 199 is going to be a big one for you. And you know, his stuff is still pretty much affordable right now, which always amazes me. But that is a good thing for those who love James Wiseman. Jones, what's up, Big L? Yeah, what's up, brother? How you doing? I'm glad that you're here. Let me give you some more updates on the game. We got Burrow attempted to run the ball. Okay, all right. We're gonna be all right. We just if you're rooting for the Bengals, we just need to keep eating up this clock. Move the chains, eat up the clock. Hopefully, score another 3 points or another touchdown, and then there might be a celebration here in LA. Gavin, winter has arrived. Joy B, the Iceman is here. The Iceman. I like that name. The Iceman. Yeah. After Matty Ice was supposedly had ice in his veins, it's good to see Joe show up. I mean, he's playing like a player right now that has been here before. He's taking on pressure. Just took a sack, though. As soon as I say that, isn't that funny? He's taking on pressure. Von Miller came through with a sack or with a rush and a tackle. What about Mahomes? I don't know if Mahomes is done. I wouldn't say that, but I did say a couple of years ago that his career might be a reverse career where he has success up front and may struggle some later. At the end of the day, the football gods will even everything out, unless your name is Joe Montana or Tom Brady. It usually evens it out. Richard, poor Justin Herbert. He has some big shoes to fill after Burrow wins the Super Bowl. I think Herbert is going to be okay, though. I think Herbert's going to be okay. They got to get a few more pieces around him. There's some word that Williams may be leaving. So we'll see. We'll see what other pieces he has around him. But I think he's going to be just fine. And we have a guest here I want to bring in. Very special guest. We got To the Moon coming in.
What's going on, FD? How we doing?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Decided to join a little early. I saw you hopped on. How we doing, guys?
Yeah, everybody's doing well. I've been giving a little play-by-play on the game here. Who did you have winning the game?
Bengals.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, I definitely like the second half so far. First half started off a little rough, but definitely came back a little bit. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Welcome to the hobby after party. Thank you
Yeah.
to everybody who's here.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And to the moon, thank you for putting the word out on this. I really appreciate that.
Well, you know, anytime we can bring the hobby together, man, it's a great opportunity.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. We got Jeff McMahon saying, looking forward to Jeremy Lee being on the show. Yes,
Yes.
he's one of my favorite people. You know, to listen to him and listen to what he has to say, and the honesty that he brings when he's delivering his message is, you know, just great. So I definitely wanted to have him on for that whatever amount of time that he could be here and have him this, you know, spend some time with us. Mahomes will have a Kurt Warner type career. Richard Perez. Yeah, I mean he could. Kurt Warner did such a large amount of work in a short period of time. I mean, you go from being greens back up to you're in the game to you running the greatest show on turf to winning the Super Bowl to early in his career, like we knew he was going to the Hall of Fame. So, and then he got beat by the Patriots, and almost got back with the Arizona Cardinals. He had some success. If Mahomes has that kind of career, you know, that'd be great. I see Mahomes doing well though. It's just gonna, you know, it's gonna take some time.
Yeah. Love Mahomes. Big Chiefs fan.
Oh, you are? Where are you from originally?
I'm in Nebraska.
Okay.
But I like to do a lot of shows in Kansas City. They have a pretty good show presence up there. We just got back from one last week.
Yeah, I saw you on Instagram. How was the show?
It was amazing, man. You know, just I've been going to these shows the past year. You pick up little tricks here and there, you know, and put them into action. And you know, shows are great. So, what's up, Gabe?
Gabe wanted to tell you what's up. Hi to the moon.
Up,
so, what did you pick up stuff there, or were you selling stuff there?
Well, I did a little both. So this trip was a little interesting. I went with one of my buddies who owns a card shop here called Rickley Sports Cards, and we didn't know we had a table until Thursday night. So we actually had a table for the whole event. It was a 3-day show, about 130 tables, and I started with doing a lot of selling, and then I ended up picking up a lot of wax by the end of the weekend.
Okay.
I love going to card shows to pick up wax because you avoid sales tax, you avoid shipping cost, and usually you can get the best deals at card shows when it comes to wax.
I will say when I'm at shows, I see people picking up wax, and that makes perfect sense to me.
Yes, I mean if you can get a show that you can drive to, and you know it makes sense, there you go. I mean that's one of my big objectives now. Every time I go to shows, is to pick up as much wax as we can. As we continue to get into this breaking on the network app.
All right, all right. So now, tell everyone what started you to collecting. What kicked it off for you?
I honestly got into this kind of like a lot of people. My dad had a really old collection, and he, you know, we found it after the boom and decided to sell, and I just made an Instagram page and we came up with the To the Moon Collectables brand, and it kind of just blew up. But honestly, my only PC card at the moment is the LeBron James Kobe tribute card.
That's a great card.
But I consider my whole everything I buy my collection in a sense, because you're kind of just trading in and out of it, you know. I think we talked at the National kind of about that as well. But yeah, man, I love it. I mean, you know, with the boom in these live selling apps, it just makes it so much better and easier to sell your cards and meet a lot of new people, you know, and it really gives you a perspective on how big this hobby really is.
Very true. Very true. You know, I started when I was 8 years old. I saw the Topps Don Manley card and really started talking to my father about wanting to collect. And then he shared with me at the time that he had a passion for collecting when he was a kid. But when they were children, they would open up packs, put them in the spokes of their bike, and they just wanted to hear the clicking noise when they were riding. But he said he remember having like 54 Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle cards and stuff like that in his hands.
My grandpa put a lot of those on his bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just told me, like, you know, if you're interested in this, I'll go to shows with you, or I'll look for cards with you, and then we kind of share that mutual interest.
I always thought it'd
Especially,
be really cool to find one of those bikes with the cards on the bike still.
yep, that would be cool. That would be cool. So that's how my thing kind of got kicked off.
Yeah, my dad's been collecting since he was a kid, and I was into the TCG pretty much my whole life, with
Hmm.
which was mainly Yu-Gi-Oh, a little bit of Pokemon, and that's kind of what got my interest when it came to sports cards because it's kind of similar, but definitely completely different in a lot of senses as well.
True. Beer and Cardboard has a question. Didn't someone buy a one-on-one Joe Burrow for $1 million?
I believe so. I'm
I
not
think so.
sure. There's been the last week. I mean, the Burrow sales have been crazy.
Hmm.
Um, the way I've been talking to people about it is look at the Patrick Mahomes effect, pretty much. Even if he doesn't win this game, I mean, this is his first full year and playing that well. I honestly feel like Burrow prices, won't dip as much as people think they will. I mean,
I
they
agree.
were just really low at the start, but Burrow proved himself. And win or lose this game, there's a chance that we might even see some of those cards continue to go up.
It's true. I totally agree with you. He's a guy that just caught my eye. Third, fourth game of the season, I
Hmm.
really started paying attention to him. And what I really liked about him was like basic. You see him in the game, no matter what's going on, he has a look of confidence in his face. And to
Right.
me, for a young quarterback, like that's crucial, right? You could just throw an
Hmm.
interception or just took a sack, but are you confident for the next play? So I started paying attention to stuff like that, and his games came on more and more here. And I just began to watch him, and I also watch Herbert. Now I think
Yeah.
very highly of Herbert as well. But just watching
Yeah.
these guys, they're different. They're
Right.
very different.
And I think we're seeing that now with Mac Jones as well.
Hmm.
There's a lot of young guns coming into this game, and I love guys like Josh Allen and Tom Brady, but never rule out the underdogs either. Especially in this playoffs, we've seen a lot of underdogs, beating teams that they weren't supposed to beat. But these kids have potential.
Yeah, and I think it's a changing of the guard in the NFL. You got it started out when Phillip Rivers walked away. Now
Hmm.
you got Aaron Rodgers winning his fourth MVP. How much longer is he going to play? Uh,
Exactly.
Tom Brady has said, I'm done. Last I saw, he was in Costa Rica right now.
This
Probably
year
why.
is gonna this year is gonna be really crucial for trades, I think, in the draft class as well.
Yes, and it's going to be crucial, like you're talking about for trades. What are you trading to, and then what's the potential for that card in the future that you're trading into?
Right.
Because we may look back 6 months from now and say, hey, I made that trade, but the card I got or the card I gave away has really taken off.
Hmm. It'll be interesting to see where the card market lies in a year from now because we've seen the big boom. Now we're kind of leveling out again. But it will be interesting to see if we can see another, even a little boom. I think with basketball season coming up, we're definitely going to see some big prices on some of those cards start shooting up.
Hmm.
A
I
lot of
agree.
people I've seen are definitely starting to look for that Cade Cunningham rookie class and stuff. So, and Prism football is going to be dropping in April, with Mosaic retail coming out very soon. You're going to see a lot of football still, people ripping it pretty heavily into
Yeah.
the new season.
And the thing about basketball is that, you got these guys coming out now and they spent maybe 1 year in college. It may take to their fourth or fifth year before you really know who that player is.
Hmm.
And by that time, they're still 23 years old.
Hmm. Exactly.
But in the past, you pretty much a guy was around 3 or 4 years, like some players that went to Duke or other places. Some people were even talking about Kareem earlier today. He spent 4 years at UCLA. I know LeBron just passed him last night in all-time point scored playoffs and regular season, but Kareem spent 4 years at UCLA.
I'm
You know,
definitely really hot on the new LaMelo Ball, Anthony
yeah,
Edwards, that
yeah,
class. I like the new class, but that class just has so much potential. And
yeah.
I think especially when you're looking into like the Zion rookie year versus this rookie year versus that rookie year, like it's night and day. Like the
Mhm.
2021 class has a lot of potential for it. It's just going to take a couple of years for them to
That's right.
show their stuff and maybe a couple trades here and there as well.
We've already seen a change in Cole Anthony. I mean,
Hmm.
he's taking steps in his career. and there'll be more players taking steps in their career.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow, just for a second, I think he's down, hurt. Let's see what happens here. See what he does. Oh, he's up walking now.
Okay. Thank
Limping.
God.
Limping, but he's walking.
Oh.
I hate to see what happened to Odell Beckham earlier,
Mhm.
running the route. I think he either tore his ACL or his MCL. I haven't heard them confirm yet, but that's just a bad injury in a big game like this. You've been waiting to get here your whole career.
Mhm.
It's just bad.
Yeah. I'll stay on as long as you need me to, by the way. I have nothing else going on, but
Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. I made each slot with enough room for
yeah.
those people who want to stay on. You're
Mhm.
definitely welcome. You can be here as long as you like.
Yeah.
Love to have you. Chuncher 3882. Thank you very C Hunter. Thank you very much.
Did V
Let's go
Miller
back.
just peel Burrow's knee? Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, he hit Burrow there. I hate to say it, in the NFL, man, that's a part of the game. You got guys coming around the corner looking to make a shift in the game. They know that
Mhm.
Odell is out. And if you can get Burrow out, who's Cincinnati backup? I have no idea.
I have no clue either, but maybe his cards are going to start seeing some hype,
Yeah, true. So, Ian, we have Aoki wearing a MetaZoo shirt at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely definitely not good. Right as we're talking about his cards and then another knee
Yeah,
injury. Oh.
he's holding his knee and yelling out in pain. We'll see what happens after this. We got Russell Wilson probably going to Buccaneers. You think so, Gavin? I don't think he's going back to Seattle. It'll be interesting where he goes. I think Peyton Manning and Tom Brady showed us if you're a good quarterback or great quarterback, let me say, and you go into a good system, surrounding yourself with some running backs, a few receivers, a decent defense, what you can do. I know Russell's taking note of that. I wouldn't be
Rolling with
surprised.
FD, how was your first card show? I saw your vlog you just posted. But
Oh,
tell
it
us a
was
little bit about.
good. It was good. It was a learning experience for me, and I plan to do it more. So I wanted to set up as a vendor selling something. I took eight to nine cards with me. I learned a lot about the time it takes to set up, the time it takes to check your comps, um, the position of your table, what people may be coming by, what cards on your table may attract a certain demographic of customer. Um, those are some things that I picked up, and I've had like jobs before where I may have accepted a certain role at a company, but I wanted to do another role for a while to learn more about what am I here to do. And I walked into shows over the last several months buying, and I said to myself, I want to spend more time sometimes on the other side of the table actually selling something to learn more about what the seller does and not just take it for granted that, oh, they don't do anything. They do a lot.
Right.
A lot of prep work involved, and I want to humble myself and go back there and see what that's all about.
I got the opportunity to set up at Dallas with Mealy Pops this last October show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just setting up at a big show versus a little show, you definitely get a way different perspective on that stuff as well.
So how is Dallas? How would you describe Dallas?
Dallas, guys, anyone in this chat, anyone watching this replay, if you're going to go to one show in your whole life in sports cards, Dallas, the National, can't even compare. I love Dallas. I wish I could go to every single one. I'm not too close, but I'm close enough. But I'm definitely going to try to maybe go to the March show. That's the next show is the first weekend of March. But it's just a different experience, man, because they have such a great layout. What I like about it, the card show itself is the place they hold it at. It's a hotel, so you can get a room at the hotel. They have a restaurant there. They have a pool. They have your room, and they have tons of different rooms. They have trade nights at the Dallas event. So pretty much you don't have to leave the Dallas show. When you go to a card show
Mm-hmm.
and you might have to drive 30 minutes here, 30 minutes back. If you want to just stay at that hotel, you don't have to leave for the 3 or 4 days, or one day, whatever you're doing. But that's why one of the main reasons I like it. But just the layout too, and the vendors that show up there. I mean, if you're going and your goal is to meet some really cool people that you've seen online, there's always a ton of these big names that go to these shows. And I just noticed the atmosphere for buying and selling as well is very good, you know?
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about it, from the quality of cards that are on tables. If you're looking for a particular
Mhm.
unique card or hard to find card, it's a great show for that. There are multiple rooms, from what I understand.
Yeah, they have 4 different rooms, and BGS is always on site, which is cool if you like the, getting the on-the-site grading, so you're not actually getting your card in a slab, but you're getting them to grade it, so you have the choice then to sell it raw, with the BGS, raw card review, or you can send it in for grading from there. It's a great way if you have, like, a card that you're, like, on the fence about, but maybe even getting an 8.5 will help your value. um, it's worth every penny. I know a lot of the vendors take advantage of that. The other big thing that I like too, more than anything else, is whether you have $10 or $100,000, there's cards for you there. There's not just big vendors. There's not just little vendors. There's everything. Like, I mean, and me and you went to the national. I mean, we know how that is, but it's the national, but it's big. It's small enough where it's not overwhelming for your first show either.
Yeah, see, Gavin makes a great point here. Von Miller, Twisted Burrows, and he looked intentional. Um, all I'll say is this: the NFL players that I've met, not saying everybody's like this, they will put a helmet on a knee, a shoulder pad on a knee. They'll do something to try to pull the ball out, and while they're pulling the ball out, they may pull your
Mhm.
thumb. Even when I played, there's a lot of stuff that happens at the bottom of a pile that will blow your mind. Just watching the game, you probably
Mhm.
never pick it up. So sometimes this
Mhm.
stuff does happen. But I think Burrow is a gamer. There's 9 minutes, ball just went out of bounds on the kickoff, 9 minutes and 58 seconds left in the game. Burrow's going to receive this ball. He's running out into the field right now. Got a little limp to him, but
Mhm.
there's no way Burrow's coming out of this game.
The one thing I wanted to say too about card shows is, if you have a local show, whether it's 10 tables, 100 tables, 1,000 tables, go to that show, because it definitely gives you a different perspective on the hobby as a whole,
That's
and
right.
just being able to make friendships. Like the amount of friendships that I didn't even know people in my area that collected cards, but just from going to my monthly show, I've been able to make connections where I can travel with these guys to events, or we can, make deals on the side when even when the show's not on. Meet your local area and get a grasp on that, because that's your key to anything. I mean, you might buy a collection and maybe it's too big to travel with, but there's a local guy that buys cards all the time, and you don't really want to be ship stuff, but he might be able to come over and look at it. That's why going to these shows is so important, and meeting local people in your area,
I
because
totally agree with that.
I can guarantee in all 50 states there's somebody there that is collecting cards.
We went to a recent show and a few months ago in Santa Barbara, and it was a show that was being conducted at a high school, and there were 2 or 3 students at the high school that wanted to do a fundraiser for an organization they were in on campus, and
Mhm.
so they conducted the show, and I found great cards at that show. I had no hesitation ever about going to it. I wanted to go. We walked around. There may have been 10 to 15 tables. It was a great show.
Mhm.
So I tell people all the time, you never know what you may find, what you're looking for, or what kind of atmosphere it is, or what kind of relationships you may build out of that show. Could just go to the show.
Absolutely, man. It's just given me a whole different perspective on the hobby. And, I mean, I've gone to shows with the intention of not making any sales or not buying any cards, and I always leave with stuff,
Hmm.
or I always leave with money in my pocket. But the
Hmm.
one piece of advice someone gave me for my first show, and I'll never forget this, is go in with a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, you're going to go in with a chicken with your head cut off, as they say
True.
here in Nebraska. You're going to be over here, over there, and then before you know it, the show's halfway over, and you didn't even make any progress. Get a checklist. If there's something that you want to do, take the card. Let's say I want to sell this Joe Burrow card. You need to take that Joe Burrow card first step. Go try and move that card or trade that card, and then let's say next you want to buy this, and this. Go look around. Some people like to take 3 or 4 laps around a show before they even stop at a table.
That's me. That's me.
Yes,
Hmm.
because I mean, you might stop at a table and see something, but then it might be over at another table for cheaper. You never know.
That's right. So I definitely like to come in with some sort of a plan for that show. but I use patience as well, like we're talking about.
Mhm.
I like to walk that show, talk to, like I when I go past a table, if you're at a table, I'm going to talk to you first.
Mhm.
Then I'm going to look at your cards, and then we'll have a conversation about that. And then I'm going to, if I'm going to move on, I'll let you know if I'm going to be back or not. I'm going to move on, but I plan to hit as many tables in that show as I can. Now, if I'm looking for vintage and there are only certain tables that are selling vintage, then I want to make sure I see those tables. I'll let people know if I'm looking for Burrow or if I'm looking for Wiseman or if I'm whatever player I'm looking for. But if they show me something, another thing too, some sellers have stuff behind them that
Yes.
is in their case that they haven't put on the table. So if you look back and you see that they have something back there, just ask them, can I see what's back there? Also, some people tell you, well, I brought my personal collection. That's really not for sale. I've still had conversations about those cards, and I've
Mhm.
even purchased some of those cards sometimes.
My approach to 90% of card shows now is the $1 to $10 boxes.
Yes.
That's where your deals are at, and you see it all over YouTube, but people still don't take the time to go over and grab some or take a look at those, which blows my mind. I mean, it's all over. I mean, everyone kind of knows about it by now, but that's where I have found my best deals at shows, and that's where I spend a majority of my time because that is where the deals are at.
You're absolutely right.
And the best thing about dollar boxes is they're in to $10 whatever is usually that's the stuff people are a lot more flexible on. Never be afraid to ask someone, do you have any room on this? They might have a sticker price. That's great. Ask them, hey, will you take, if it's a $175 card, will you take 150, 130 for this? You know, negotiate because a lot of times they will go down and you can make your money work stronger for you.
And then sometimes too, I read the seller, right? If the seller is
Mhm.
not a Chicago Bulls fan, they might not have a problem taking a discount on a card that's a Bulls player. And if you get into a conversation with that person, you can learn those things. There's a lot of people just openly tell you, I'm trying to get back my costs on that car or maybe a certain
Yes.
percentage above, and then they're good with that.
But manners and negotiating in the right way is the best way
Hmm.
because you can't come off aggressive. You want to be friendly, because we're all there for the same reason. We want to sell cards or we want to buy cards and, always go into a deal and be respectful of the dealer as well. And that's half the battle. So,
True, 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 true.
but I love card shows, man. I mean, it's
As well.
definitely it's something that's made me probably like this hobby a lot more than I would have if I wouldn't have gone. So
OG College Scammer says, so when is the next Dallas show? Aren't they every 2 months?
yeah, they have the whole schedule on the Dallas Card Show Instagram, but I believe the next one is going to be the first weekend of March, so it's going to be that Thursday through that Sunday. But I think the show is officially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Dealer setups on Thursday.
Okay. Gavin cleared up that it's not the surgically repaired knee
Thank
for,
God.
for Burrow. That's exactly what I thought when he went down. Might have been what Vaughn was aiming for, but he didn't get to it.
Yeah.
Trey Lance in San Francisco. Do you think San Francisco would turn the reins over to Trey Lance or go out to find another quarterback?
I don't know. Um, I haven't seen him play enough yet.
I've only seen him play maybe one game,
Mm.
one or maybe 1.5 games. I
I'll
haven't
tell
seen a
you.
lot.
I'll tell you who needs to get traded and maybe onto a little better team is Trevor Lawrence. He's got a lot of potential.
I said on draft day when Jacksonville takes someone, you just feel for him.
Yeah.
You just feel for him, no matter who his coach was. Also, who his coach was at the time, but other than that, you still feel for that player for what decisions are going to be made around them.
Hmm.
Um, we'll see. We will see. Yeah, that's how the NFL is. Kind of win at all costs. There are some players, if you stay in tune with them and kind of how they play and what they do, I'll see some players avoid certain things. They'll
Hmm.
avoid connecting with someone's knee or doing something that could hurt someone. They really avoid that. But there are some players that it doesn't matter.
I got a question for you.
What you got?
On all the social media platforms right now, which social medias are you using and seeing the most success with?
I am on Instagram almost mainly. I don't use Twitter that much, but I do want to expand to more. Do you have recommendations that you think would be good to be on, pay attention to, spend time?
I have seen a lot of people making the transition over to YouTube and Twitch in the last 2 months. I've
Hmm.
seen a lot of new YouTube pages popping up, and especially with Twitch. Twitch seems like there's a really big growing community, especially for the breaking community.
Okay.
Another big one that's been around and people are starting to make things for is TikTok. I like
Yeah,
TikTok.
I've
I've been
heard
using that.
about that.
I've been using that since I started because I like to make promotional videos
Yeah.
for my stuff. But um, those are kind of the big ones right now: TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram and Facebook. Facebook's great too. It's just kind of hard because you have to build a group. I know a lot of people have had really good success as well with Discord. I'm a part of a lot of Discord channels.
Yeah, so am
Um,
I. I'm in 3 Discords, and there's good
yes,
information shared.
there's so many different places now to expand your brand and meet new people. And Instagram right now for us has honestly been a little slower. When we started last year at this time, Instagram was the way, and now it seems like a lot of people have made transitions over to a lot of different places, and it's good. Personally, I mainly use Instagram and TikTok. um, but
Okay.
I'd like to eventually get into YouTube. It's just I'm not great with technology. Applause to all you guys out there, the YouTubers that make this amazing content. Um, I'm a part of a lot of Discords. I don't really have my own Discord channel yet, but a lot of good stuff. And then, of course, the live selling apps. I'm on Whatnot and I'm on Network. You're seeing a lot of people make the transition over to Whatnot. There's also Loop, Drip, a lot of these other places, and those are great for selling your cards on a live experience.
Hmm.
Um, but it's crazy to see all the different things and ways that are coming up to go live and sell your cards or make content. It's really cool and it's really good for building your brand. If anyone out there is trying to build a brand.
Very true. And I know just with us making YouTube content, I try to stay up on which social media platforms are the new go-to. Uh,
Mhm,
and you have helped me out just with what you said right now. But I plan to stay in contact with you on that and more, just
mhm.
uh, just to understand what is going on. Because like I was talking even to some people at work, and we were talking about TikTok
It's
and
crazy. It's
how
crazy.
TikTok even helped YouTube come with the shorts. YouTube
Mhm.
didn't have that before until TikTok it became more and more popular, and now people are using more shorts. And we've even done some short stuff. We're going to even to be doing more. Um, it's great, and then these different avenues allow you to do different pieces of creative in different ways and show kind of different sides of yourself and what you do. You know,
I agree with cards and comics. There is so many of them right now, and it's kind of hard. Oh, a little farther down.
yeah, a little farther. Okay,
Yeah. But
yeah,
there's so many of them right now, and you have to kind of pick and choose. But that's the greatest thing about this hobby is you get to choose your paths and carve your lane and build your lane and how people want to see you. I mean, yours is YouTube. You're really strong on the YouTube. Mine is Instagram. And that's kind of our lane that we built, to make our content. But there's people that are killing it on multiple platforms, but it's hard because it takes a lot of time.
it does. It does. You'll see a reward. You see a reward in the
Yeah.
end, but it does take time, and it takes a strategy. It's just planning ahead of time. Like it's
Right.
not just I'm gonna grab my phone and just start making something.
Mhm.
There's a strategy to it. So
I think the content for sports cards is just beginning. I think we're just carving out what there could be. I've already seen some really creative content, but I think there's going to be so much more coming in the next 6 months to year to 10 years. I mean,
I agree. I agree
and
totally.
I think YouTube has a really strong place in the top three for moving forward.
And there's so much there that you can do with with YouTube. You know, it's even us. Like if you look at one of our early videos, it's very different than it is right now.
Mhm.
And we just try to get better at what we do and come at it in different ways and be creative. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, be creative. Don't be afraid to. If you, I already knew this before we got on YouTube. When I used to talk about G and I would talk about it. If you made a video that had 15,000 views, every video can't be that video. It
Yeah.
cannot be. Now you got to be open to. At least I would suggest. Let me say, I would suggest being open to making new and different stuff and challenging yourself.
Mhm.
Now you may challenge yourself, and you may make something that not a lot of people watch.
Right.
But you may make a similar video to that one 6 months later, 8 months later. Now people are watching that.
I
So
go live on my Instagram every day for a series we call Lunchtime with Moon, and I do it every day during the week. And sometimes we'll get 5 people, sometimes I'll get 2 people, and sometimes we'll get 10 to 20 or 30 plus, you know. But it's hard doing something every single day, but we always find a way to make it happen, man. And that's the thing, is sometimes you just got to turn on the phone and go live and just chat,
for
or
sure.
just make something and just post it and let it run, and then run from there, you know? I mean, there's so many creative opportunities out there. You just have to find what fits you, and that's why building a logo and making your brand is so important.
Hmm. Yeah, making a brand, keeping that brand alive, representing the brand when you're out,
Mhm.
all important stuff. Also, I like to tell people, if you want to make content, and To the Moon is on at lunch, right? And you look up and you say, I only got 10 people here. Still come
Mhm.
with that energy. Don't look and say, I mean, I got 9, 10 people here. Man, no one's on here. Just keep coming with it.
Yeah.
Things build. Your catalog of content and what you've done, it builds. You may have 28 right now, or 18, but those may be 15 people that didn't see you yesterday, that now are watching and looking and saying, "Oh, okay, okay," and it just builds. You go out to shows, or you're around the community, and people start coming up and talking to you. They're looking at what you're doing, and it
Right.
matters to them, you know. And sometimes if they don't catch it right then and there, they could be watching it later. Just believe.
That
Yeah,
posts,
just believe.
always post it.
Yeah.
1 second. Everyone's like, "Where's the video?" But yeah, man, do we have more people coming on, you said?
Yeah, there's more coming. Should be more coming soon. They're probably watching the end of this game.
Yeah. It's a
2 minutes, three
great
seconds
Super
left.
Bowl, great halftime show.
One, yeah. That halftime show could have just kept going for a couple of hours.
Dude, I mean, come on.
Was it me, or did they keep 50 Cent a surprise?
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going to be on. Interesting. Cooper Cup is having a decent game. You know, they had an answer for him at one point when Odell went out, but he's having a decent game.
You know, here's the other thing I found too, is finding a way to help people transition to something new. The hardest thing that I found with, once I'm big on one platform, is getting people over to another one. You know, it sounds so simple. You just go to YouTube or you just go to TikTok, whatever, but it's probably the hardest part of anything.
I can see that. How do you overcome that? You just
You
keep
just
continue to remain active?
continue to, you know, advertise it and push it. You know, that we all start somewhere. I started with 1 follower on Instagram. You started with 1 follower on YouTube, and we just built up. And you know, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, but you know, getting people to go and over to those other platforms sometimes is hard. But you just have to continue to grind and do it. You know.
True. True. Ryan says here, stoked to make the live, bringing the energy FD, looking like a close finish in the game. Yeah, it's going to be real close here.
Yes.
The Rams are driving down. We'll see what happens here.
Great Super Bowl.
Yeah. What's going to be interesting is what does Burrow do once he
Mhm.
gets the ball back, either after the Rams kick a field goal or score a touchdown. Cards and Comics says, I find the online community to be pretty cliquish, very siloed. What I would say is I look to break down. If you find that, still talk to people, get to know folks. A part of this live tonight was to bring different people together from different parts of the country to have a conversation. Now, right now, we have a person I like a lot, respect a lot in the community just jumped on. We have Dustin from the Personal Finance Dad.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's up, Dustin?
How you doing?
Watching the end of this game.
Oh, so are we. So are we. I have it on right here. Who are you going with today? Who do you think is going to win?
I want the Bengals to win, but I feel like the Rams are starting to get momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they've got the ball. So, I mean, if they score, I guess if they score, the Bengals still have a chance.
Yeah, still time on the clock
to get in a field goal range, but it's a battle. It's a battle.
It'll be interesting to see what we were just saying before you got on to see what Burrow does after he gets the ball.
Yeah. And how much time will he have?
Yeah. We might see a legend in the making right now if he plays this right.
It's very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
yeah, Dustin. Yeah. This is To the Moon. To the Moon. This is Dustin.
Yeah, man. Good to meet you.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. New people meeting new people. I kind of thought you all knew each other, but
now this is half the fun for me is because I've met a few of the YouTube people in the community, but I haven't met very many. I've met World at National, but I haven't got to meet too many of you guys yet. So I definitely want to start doing more on YouTube and maybe going on guest with a few more people. So
oh, very good.
Yeah, definitely.
So Dustin, what were you doing the day before this game started?
What was I doing before the game started? We ended up entertaining for a lot of the first half, so it was just getting the house in order and all that stuff. We got 4 kids, so keeping them fed and all that stuff is a full-time job in itself. So
yes,
yeah,
sir.
It's pretty low key though for the most part, just getting like doing house stuff and catching up.
Yeah, we were kind of doing the same thing. I ran around a little bit, grocery store action, came back, make sure people were settled here before we got on tonight. That was really it. Yeah, this last 2 minutes are going to be very tense, Sydney.
2nd and goal. Wow.
Yeah. A minute 51 left. Second and goal.
How many people bet 16-20 or guess 16-20 Bengals?
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Didn't the Bengals lose 20-16 to the 49ers the first time around? Was that the final score? Hold on, let me check it. I feel like it was a weird score like that.
I didn't know it was that close. I thought the Bengals got blew out in that game.
No, they didn't. They were actually winning, and then Montana drove to win.
He did. That's right.
Let me just see what it was.
Oh, the 89, right?
It was definitely 80s.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting stuff. When you get to a game like this, at this point in the game, who wins, who loses, they go in 2 different directions.
Right.
In the next minute and 47 seconds, Burrow could be a champ, a king. Stafford could resurrect his career. Odell Beckham, does he get a ring even with a hurt knee? Cooper Kupp, can he cap off this amazing season? Aaron Donald. There was some word that Aaron Donald was talking about. Oh,
yep.
Terrible call.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Flag.
There was some talk of Aaron Donald before the game that if he wanted it, he might retire.
Oh, man, that's a huge flag.
It's on the Bengals.
Holding on the Bengals.
That's massive. I mean, now they can just kill clock. They can run it 3 times and
is that first down?
Yeah, it's automatic first down.
I can't believe they made that call.
Wow, that's really not yeah, they really should not, unless it was, where is it? Maybe held Cooper Kupp.
Ooh, you feel like you see that in every game.
Yeah, that's really at this stage of the game in the friggin' Super Bowl, that's not a call to make.
What about that where the Bengals got the touchdown earlier and he kind of threw down the guy and they missed it?
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, the little face mask or whatever. Yeah.
Cooper Kupp with the touchdown. All right, so now we all know we get the ball back. There's at least a minute and probably 29 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
So,
man, everyone's on the edge of their seat. What a Super Bowl!
Down to the wire. So was that a hit? Was that a head-to-head tackle though on Cooper Kupp? That was helmet to helmet, right?
I think that's what they're going to call. I didn't see it, in real
It
time.
was almost like face mask to face mask.
I mean, it looked like a big hit, but sometimes they look like big hits, and it's illegal shoulder to shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
Let's see. I mean, the good news for the Bengals is there's plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Oh, wow. He almost tackled. Wow. Cooper Kupp fought through that. Interesting.
Yep. Definitely a fun game. This Super Bowl has been a lot better than some of the other ones for sure.
Yeah, it's been more time. I think the playoffs in general will close games.
Oh, they're going to replay it. Okay.
Oh.
Was that a double foul? What
Yeah. Von Bell, ex-Saint. The Bengals have a lot of ex-Saints players. Trey Hendrickson, Von Bell. There's another one too. Oh, Eli Apple.
Yeah, Eli Apple. I remember when he went there. Left the Giants went there. Him and Odell were teammates with the Giants.
Yeah.
What if Stafford throws an interception right here? Same play. They come back with the same play.
Wow.
Can you believe it? And he threw a flag on that.
Oh no, man!
They come back with the same play to Cooper Kupp. Exact same play.
Flag football.
Wow, this is amazing. And it's Eli Apple again, holding.
All right, that was an actual hold.
Yeah, that was a hold. That was a penalty.
Are we stuck in the Matrix?
Yeah. Same play.
That looks like Eli Apple for the Saints right there.
Mm-hmm. They should be on the 1 yard line. So do you let them go in or?
Oh no.
Bengals kicker is money. He's got to get him in a position to be able to kick.
Yeah, that's a thing.
What a
quarterback sneak goes nowhere. Nope. But in a situation like this, the Rams want to waste time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem now. Yeah, the Bengals are going to get the ball with I guess they're just going to call their timeouts. But.
Yeah. But it didn't even look like he was really trying to score there.
This is a ending.
These are the games that are played, the strategies. Aries group is saying the Rams are going to win now.
Rams.
I don't mess with the hobby. I don't know the next show that I'm going to set up at. It'll be probably coming in the next few months. Dustin, have you had any shows out by you that you've been to?
We have a local Raleigh show. It's a good show. It's not a huge show, but it's actually gotten a lot bigger over the last year. It's a good show though. So for me, it's good enough, Okay. And then we're going to go to the Atlanta show at the end of February, the Culture Collision show.
Yep.
And then we'll go to the National in July. Oh, good.
They score with a lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, plenty of time.
So plenty of time on the clock here. I'm actually surprised they scored that early. They're just picking on Eli Apple.
Let's go to overtime.
All right, Joe Burrow legend time.
Yeah, I think it's time for Joe Burrow to make a name for himself.
He's on a bum knee. He's got no line.
He scored in 16 seconds before. He can do it again.
I mean, the good news for the Bengals is this guy is this good, and he has one of the worst lines in football. Imagine when they actually buy a line for him.
True. Get him a left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, he's got nobody.
Being Cowboys calling overtime. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be overtime.
For the gamblers out there, what was the spread? I think it's +4, right?
Yeah, it was +4. That's what I heard.
So I think even if the Bengals lose here, it still covers, right?
Mm-hmm. Just think if you're Eli Apple and they throw 3 balls in a row your way.
4.5.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp has had a nice game. 8 receptions, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't know how many yards Stafford has, but I guess Stafford would be Super Bowl MVP if they won.
Have you guys been picking anything for anticipation for baseball or basketball?
I would like a Wanda Franco card. I've been kind of eyeballing that. Basketball, there are a few players. More Wiseman I'm kind of looking at. There's a few Golden State players I'm looking at, but not a lot. I mean, it's not a lot.
Yeah, I'm not really a baseball card collector. Not new stuff. Always looking at vintage baseball, but I haven't been picking up really much on the basketball or baseball side. Been just watching right now. But and also like with the card shows coming up, I'm trying to save a little bit so I can actually have some cash at the show.
Right.
I've been doing a lot of online buying over the last year, and I just want to, be a little bit more picky.
Have that.
Here we go.
Got to have that money for national.
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially too, last year the national was really fun, and then I was thinking like, man, it would have been even that much more fun if I had more money, while I was here.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
All right, we're gonna remember where we were for this one. I'm telling you right now.
We're on this live stream when it all went down.
Right.
Where were you when Burrow scored the winning touchdown?
Oh no.
Oh
my God. Okay. I thought that was a pick six, and then it turned into a 20-yard gain.
Yeah.
Did it not look like they jumped the route and the ball just went over them?
Rams is giving up some big passes tonight.
God, that's so. It is weird to see Ramsey just get smoked.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Gentlemen, this is looking very interesting now.
That was a big hit.
But it's going to be, what, 2nd and 9? Yeah. So, excuse me, 2nd and 1?
Yeah. I mean, they have plenty of time. 2 timeouts. It's more like, are they trying to win, or are they just trying to get in that field goal?
Burrow wins.
I kind of feel like they're going to try to win the game.
Oh, here we go. Oh, nowhere. Wow. Got me hyped there to the moon. Yeah, I think Cincinnati's going to win this game. Yeah, McPherson may not even need to come on the field. See how they play this.
I think there's a few people out there that want to see an overtime.
Well, he's 14 for 14 in the postseason. Wow. Get the first down? He didn't get the first down. He did not get the first down.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a little bit short.
So they got to go on 4th.
Wouldn't be the first time they've gone for it on 4th.
Whoo, whole season comes down to this.
4th and 1.
Aaron Donald, man.
How did you get into YouTubing?
How did I get into it? I didn't have any previous experience. I just kind of, I was watching some other sports card YouTube stuff, and I was like, there wasn't that much when I started. March 2020 was when I started my channel. And, I mean, there was, not to say there wasn't any channels, but there's a lot more channels now. There's a lot more variety now. And so just the type of content I was looking for, I just wasn't really seeing, well, not that there wasn't any of it, but I wanted more of it.
That's the game, people.
Oh, man. Wow.
Well, here comes the swarm.
Wow.
That's a shame.
He's never going to live this moment down.
Wow. Trying to get away. Couldn't really get a clean pass off. Aaron Donald with the pressure. This is like the end of the 49ers game.
This is like seeing the Yankees win. It's like, who cares? Like the all-star team won. Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
Will says Donald's MVP. We'll see about that.
Well, it certainly wasn't Stafford.
No, Stafford had a very ordinary game.
I mean, maybe Cooper Kupp, but I don't know.
I don't know.
It wasn't Jalen Ramsey. That's for sure.
Ramsey got toasted several times. Yeah, it's exactly like
I think we got the under too.
Yeah.
It's funny how there was no Super Bowl winners at home, and now back-to-back Super Bowl winners have been at home.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Here comes the fireworks in LA.
Man, that stinks.
Bengals just cost me $5 million. Time to get off the grid. Ooh.
All right, boys, I got to jump off.
Justin, I appreciate you being here, sir.
It was good hanging out.
Thank you very much.
All right, see you next time.
Nice to meet you.
Right.
Good to meet you.
Man.
This was interesting. This game could have went any way at all. So now we had Dustin Lee, personal finance side, and we have another person that I really enjoy and respect in the hobby. We have Dakota from Sports Cards Anonymous.
What is happening, gentlemen? Thank you, FD.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, sir. How are y'all doing this fine evening?
Good.
Amazing.
And Dakota, you know we got To the Moon here.
To the Moon? Yeah, I think I actually went on a stream with you before, maybe with Pittsburgh or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I've been on with him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great game. So who's going to win MVP? Did they already announce it?
No, they haven't announced it yet. That's what we were just talking about. Like, Matt Stafford did not have a great game. Is it Cooper Kupp?
I don't know.
I mean, Stafford had 3 touchdowns, right? But it's got to be Kupp. Kupp had 2 of them, I think.
Yeah. Kupp had 2. I think he had 8 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think Donald has a strong argument too. He ends up with, I think, maybe 3 sacks. I don't think the one at the end was a sack, so maybe only 2 sacks. There you go, 2 sacks, 1 quarterback hit, 3 hurries. I mean, he was pretty clutch.
Yeah, he got 2 sacks. Yep. QB hit 1, 3 hurt. It's interesting when you have a game that is hard to find who is the MVP. I think it's going to be Cooper Kupp.
MVP?
So I know Dakota, you had the Rams winning this game.
Yeah, I had the Rams. I had the Rams minus. I had a minus 4.5, but the lines closed at minus 3.5. Either way, I would have lost with the lines. But yeah, I picked the Rams to win.
All right, I'm going to bring in another person here. This is Jeremy Lee coming in. How you doing, sir?
Doing well, FD. How are you?
All right, it's good to have you here.
Thanks for having
Jeremy,
me.
we know we got Dakota on and we got To the Moon on.
What's up, Dakota? What's up, To the Moon?
Hi.
Hey, Jeremy. I didn't know Canadians watch football. What are you doing here?
Oh, come on now. Come on now. I was into that game all the way. That was enjoyable.
Who did you have? Who was your pick?
You know, I got to admit, I didn't have a pick. The pick I made to win going into the game was St. Louis, only because that's what everyone else that I know and trust was picking. But I don't really know enough to make my own pick at that point. But yesterday I did pick up these 2 cards. So I was playing with these cards today, and it was a lot of fun. Whoever had possession, I'd put that card on top and just kind of enjoy the card. And it did make the whole Super Bowl viewing experience a little bit more fun. And man, that halftime show, that was the best ever.
That was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Oh my
I said
God.
to a few people that thing could have went on for another hour.
It was so well done. It was so good to watch. I loved it. Absolutely.
All right, and I got one more person I want to bring in here who's in the green room. This is King. King makes YouTube content, very good YouTube content. I've had the pleasure of meeting him at a show. He's a great person to talk to at a show. King, how you doing?
What's going on? How you guys doing?
What's up, brother? So we have Jeremy Lee here, we have Dakota here, and we have To the Moon here.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks.
So now, King, who did you have winning the game?
I wanted Joe Burrow to win. I thought Joe Burrow winning would have been good for the hobby. But I took the Bengals plus 4.5, so I'm okay right now.
All right. So, King, where you located at? Where you out of? Bay Area?
I'm in the Bay Area. I'm out here in the Bay Area, Northern California.
All right. Born and raised out there?
Yeah, well, for the most part, I spent my whole life out here, basically.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about you guys? Who'd you guys have winning?
I had the Bengals. I also was thinking the same thing with you as far as Burrow. Like it's good to see where we're. Whenever one team wins, it's good. There are good stories on either side, and it's good to see someone like the Rams tackle win. This is probably his last game because a couple of years ago he was about to retire. So it's good to see it. But I had the Bengals winning.
Yeah.
And I think Dakota was going with the Rams.
Rams, yeah.
I had the Bengals.
Interesting.
I was going to be happy for either team, and it's nice to see Stafford win. He's had a long career already and been through tough times, and at the same time, would it be great to see Burrow win and Cincinnati win their first Super Bowl? But Burrow's got a lot of years to make that up, I think, and it seems like Stafford may not. So would have been happy on either side myself, but I do like seeing Stafford win the Super Bowl.
It's also good to see Odell Beckham get a ring.
Yeah, that was so sad too. Odell was balling out in that first half, and then with his knee, man, that sucked. But still, great for him to get it, and I think he really did resurrect his career just with the season he had and with the game too. So
true.
Yeah.
So I got
one more person.
I got one more person
to come in and say hi.
In the green room. I'm gonna bring in Erica. Love what you collect. But go ahead, King.
Guys, I just want to come in and say hi, but I got to take off. It's actually my niece's birthday right now, so wish you guys the best. I'll talk to you guys soon, yeah?
Well, tell your niece that we all say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And thank you for being here. I can't wait to bump into you again soon, sir.
I want to see you at one of these shows coming up this year, down there in LA for sure.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you for being here.
Take care, man.
Yes, sir.
So, Erica, what's going on? Who did you have winning the game?
Hey, everyone. I had the Rams winning.
Oh, look at you.
But even though I like both teams, though, but it was a great game, but I did have the Rams winning.
So, Erica, we got Jeremy here, we got To The Moon here, and we got Dakota, Sports Cards Anonymous here.
Hey, guys. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Yeah, so we were just talking about Odell winning, the stories that comes out of this game. Burrow maybe having a little bit more time later. That's interesting. So Will wants to talk about John Morant.
No.
What's going on with John Morant?
That's not. I just think John Morant's not a great person to put a lot of money on. That's all.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna tell you the truth. I know you've talked about his jump shot before. I've thought the same thing. I went through a thing about 6 weeks ago, researching a lot of his cards, and I just thought to myself, I'm gonna wait to see how his game continues to evolve. And then what does he do in the playoffs, and how does he lead his team? Were the things that I thought about. So I took a weighted approach. Could be wrong, could be right, but that's what I did.
They look good.
They do look good. It's just going to be interesting to see what do they do in the playoffs. How do they come together as a team? What is Jaren Jackson Jr. going to do? You got Bane over there. It's just interesting to see what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Erica.
Hey.
Yeah, hey, I just realized where I recognize you from. I was watching you on with Peter Pac-Man not too long ago.
Yes,
you did
I was
with him.
there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thank you. I'm always watching your content and your shows, so I love it.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool how all of us add like our own different piece, but we're all like doing the same thing. And I've watched all your guys' stuff, but especially on the YouTube scene, how everyone does a lot of similar content, but it's so different. And I love that, you guys all do an amazing job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the purpose of trying to get everybody together, to have people with from different backgrounds. They kind of do different things in the hobby together, to have an open forum and talk about cars, or talk about the Super Bowl that just ended, or whatever that was going to come up. That was the cool part about it.
FD, where are you rolling out of?
Well, I live in Los Angeles, right outside of Los Angeles. Born and raised in Chicago. I've moved to different cities over time throughout life for work or different places that I've been. But right now we're here in LA.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you hear anybody screaming out in the streets?
No.
Okay.
I live in a pretty chilled out area. I don't even know if any of my neighbors are really watching football right now. But I'm pretty sure if I was closer to downtown, things are happening.
Yeah.
Things are happening in LA right now. It was interesting, the parties that were going on last night. Some of that stuff hit social media, but there were a lot of people moving around last night. A lot of people within the hobby moving around last night. So that was cool to see.
Seems like this whole week in LA has been crazy.
I wish I could have gotten downtown more or down by the stadium more. But it's just good to see. This is like the 4th city I've lived in that has had a Super Bowl, and I still haven't been to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Any of you all been to the Super Bowl?
I haven't.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a goal of mine one day. It'd be lovely. But I now want to bring in Mr. Michael Thomas, who won our 100 subscriber contest on the Rolling with FD channel. Mr. Thomas, how you doing?
What's going on, everybody?
What's up? I know you rocking that Brian Young jersey.
I got to represent my Brian Young, man.
Nice.
My Niners should have played in that game. I don't want to hear anything else. Jimmy G needed it. Jimmy G needed it right off in the sunset, not Stafford.
Hey, the Niners could be here in a year or two. You never know.
I say give it 2 years. That we need to bring someone to help Trey Lance. I really do.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
He's too young still to even start. Even Joe Montana called him out. So I mean,
Joe Montana got vocal, huh? You don't hear him too much talking about what the 49ers need to do or shouldn't do.
No. I have noticed in the hobby he's signing a lot more autographs now than he ever has. I mean, he's signing like everything for Leaf, and of course Panini's got him on like a 30-year contract or something. So,
and I also know that he bumped up his autograph fee for anything previously signed by Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, you can still find.
Yeah,
you can still find Beckett authenticated autographs by him for about $100. So I mean, it's great to meet him, but you shouldn't be paying no more than $100 for his autograph. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think he's over 1,000 if Tom Brady has signed something.
Well, I'd rather have a Giselle autograph than a Tom Brady. Just saying.
I heard that. So
I mean, just like with Shaq. Just like with Shaq, Shaq's got his autograph has gotten so cheap now. It's almost like a check mark now. It's not Shaq O'Neal. It's like a S check mark.
That's true. That's true. His autograph is one that has evolved over time. When he was younger, you saw more of a Shaquille O'Neal very clearly. I think now Shaq is, he doesn't have a lot of time to sign autographs. So that's how it goes.
Well, I don't know. This one, I mean, this was his rookie one.
Yeah,
that he signed with. This was him and Kareem right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, the question is from Sylvester: how do you all think this will affect the prices of Burrow cards?
It won't.
All football is gonna go down because of off season.
I think it's gonna level off.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Burrow will probably come down a little bit just because he didn't win, but it's not going to be a huge fall off. I think similar to Josh Allen, when these guys play, well, they play at a high level and then they lose. I think people are like excited about them for next year. So now it starts turning into investing. I think you'll see a small dip, but it won't be a huge buying opportunity or anything.
What do you think would have happened if he'd have won tonight? You think his cards would have exploded?
It would explode it.
It would have exploded. Yeah.
He would have just been under Mahomes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. That's exactly what I have an optic hollow that's raw, and I was like, man, if he wins, I'm gonna struggle not selling that thing.
That's right.
That would have been $1,000 card.
Yeah.
With that being asked, what do y'all think OBJ's cards are gonna do now?
Good question.
I don't think it's gonna be any movement on them. I don't.
Slight, very slight.
Yeah, very slight.
I agree with you. Maybe just because they won, it'll bump them up to, as all y'all know better than I do. Each year, there's always that one player that's the highest, his cards are higher than anyone else in that draft class. So OBJ, I think, will just still be the highest in his draft class. Stafford, the biggest in his.
I'm just looking up some Odell Beckham stats right now. 7,000 yards receiving, 56 touchdowns.
Well, depending on how many years he has left, that's not bad, And then what you have to worry with him about injuries, he's as we saw tonight, he has an injury history now.
Yep. It's crazy, you know, the way he was running that route. But you saw the way his knee popped. You automatically knew that was an MCL or ACL.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of people in chat saying like OBJ is like not that good. He's past his prime. I agree 100%. Well, I think OBJ, if he wants to do this for stats and for winning and perception of how good he is, I think he needs to maintain that. He needs to go to a team or stay on the Rams where he's not the best wide receiver. In fact, he might be the second or third best. And you look at like Antonio Brown with Tampa Bay, like he was good when he was there, you know, and that's what Odell's going to be able to play for. I mean, for a while, I think he could play that for, five more years or so.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Cooper Kupp had an amazing season.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, he has.
Oh yeah.
Well, he was able to shine this time. He's had the skills. He's just never had, you know, the team to trust him that much. I mean, what'd you have with the Rams before? You had the running back, Gurley for a while. Then Gurley went dead. You know, then they were looking for someone to throw to. Cooper Kupp was kind of like the Wes Welker. He was there. He was Mr. Reliable, but he wasn't the go-to like he was this year.
True. I got two more people that I want to bring in because I'm Carlos and whats.king from the LA Proper Cards Show. What's up, everybody?
Howdy.
How's
it going? What's going on, guys? How are you?
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, that was a good game.
What did you all think of the game?
Man, that was a really good game, really close. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I have some friends over the house right now, so we're watching, having a good time. We all got Corona when we were here.
I see. And Johnny, I know that you were going for the Rams, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Patriots are my team right here.
Okay. All right.
You know, but yeah, I was rooting for the Rams for sure because you know we're in LA here, so got to root for the Rams now.
Yeah, I think we can now call the Patriots a throwback team now. I think, can't we? No.
I mean,
you have to throw a little more dirt on them before you can get there. The Darth Sith Lord is still there. I would throw some more dirt on it.
They're coming back for sure. They're coming back. They did real good this year. Belichick surprised us for sure.
Yeah, he's going to take his talents to Miami next year.
Who, Belichick?
He's going to pull a LeBron. He's going to leave too.
Oh, you think he's going to be out?
Who, Belichick?
Well, I think Belichick's going to try to rebuild something.
Yeah, I don't think Belichick's leaving New England.
No, I was picking.
Yeah.
I think they'll have to drag him out of there. I think he'll stick around as long as they'll have him because he can rebuild. You can do a lot with a team. You don't need the super great quarterback. You just need a good quarterback.
Yeah,
you need to build the team around. Like, everybody remembers Brady in the latter portion of his career, and I like to make fun of him on my channel. It's part of the thing that I do. But I had so much fun when he did the retirement. I gave him a touching video tribute and everything of like interceptions and him throwing the iPad and everything. It was great. But the first chunk of his career, it wasn't the same as the latter portion of his career. You got to break it up into like two pieces. When they won 3 out of 4 in the first section of it, he's more of a game manager quarterback. So you can build a winning team with a game manager quarterback. Belichick is capable of that. He did it once. The second half guy was now he's throwing the ball. Now he's commanding the line. And he's an extension of there's a coach on the sideline and there's a coach under center. So now it's a different type of thing than the first half. So you can still get that. You can do that first part. That's what they were trying to do with Jimmy G in San Francisco. They're hoping, please just don't screw it up. Please just don't. Please just don't do the thing. The thing that you're about to do. Don't do that. Unfortunately, he's doing the thing. But if he stops doing the thing, that team is actually good enough that they probably would be good.
They did that with Mac Jones this year. They said, you don't got to do anything crazy. I mean, what? He didn't get. He didn't have any completions over like 10 yards or something, like something insane, whatever the hell it was. I mean, literally, like that just goes to show you exactly what you're saying, Carlos. It's like, just play your position, don't do anything fancy. That's what they did with Brady too. When Brady first came out, just one completion at a time, and they're doing it again. So
early in his career, he was a sponge, and it helped them out. And then long term, that paid dividends later. All that stuff they absorbed in those early years, it's like, all right, now you can throw more. Go ahead.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, just gonna build that confidence.
Nice, especially if you get Jones a running back, like a consistent running back. Get him maybe one slot receiver, some kind of possession receiver. They can do a lot.
Need a Julian Edelman again.
That's right.
Something like that,
I have a question for Mr. Jeremy Lee. Coming from the hockey world, how did you like watching a football game?
Well, I finally know what shape the ball is in. I didn't realize it wasn't around. So I mean, I feel like
but it's still football, right? It's not soccer; it's football.
Yes, it's football. It's football. It's football. I really enjoyed the game tonight. Have some friends over, and it was a very entertaining game. You know, from front to back, really enjoyable game. And the halftime show was the best I've ever seen. I can't get over how much I enjoyed that. I thought it was excellent. So
that'll be trending tomorrow on YouTube.
One of my friends actually built that stage. She's over here right now. Her dad, it's called All Access, the company that builds all the Super Bowl stages every year. So yeah, she was telling us all about, like, I guess the budget for that was, I think, $6 million to build that stage. And in the last week, right before, when they were like doing all the fine tuning, they literally had to add like another $3 million on like the last week. So now it was like, I think it was like $9.6 million to do the whole stage for that halftime show. But her dad, that's her company, and they build the whole thing. Just tell us
please
all
let
about
her
it.
know that we all appreciated her work, because that
yeah, that was wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. She was telling us all about how it was. They were building it, putting it all together, all the guys carrying out and all this shit. It's crazy.
That's where your ticket prices come from.
I like to say whoever that lady was that did the national anthem, from a veteran standpoint, that was by far one of the best ones. I rank it up there even next to Whitney Houston's.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a great job with that.
Who sang the national anthem? Do we know?
I think her name is Marilyn, I believe.
I've never heard of her, but then again, I don't really carry along what the scene is nowadays. But I mean, it was phenomenal, actually. I thought.
Yeah, she did an excellent job. Yep.
And I do applaud the referees for correcting their mistake on the first touchdown, giving that back and letting the Rams have theirs. So that's my 10 cents on that one. Yeah, we really messed up on that New Orleans call that they should have made, but that's okay.
You still remember that? Yeah, that was an interesting call that got missed. That changed. Those are things that happen that I always say help Tom Brady. I mean, that set him up to be in a game with someone that his team probably matched up with better than who they could have played.
Yeah, I mean, the refs, they make all types of bad calls. That one touchdown earlier today was like, blatant offensive interference. I don't know how they let that go, but, it's just how it goes.
Hey, Vegas won. Just cheers to Vegas on that one. So all the bettors in Vegas, I think they cleaned house on that one. So
yeah.
I'm
happy the Rams won. If the Rams didn't win, there would have been riots all over again here in LA. Tell you that.
That is true. I was thinking about that in the third quarter.
Dude, because I live right off of Melrose. You know, FD, I told you I live right near where we do our card show. The one that we're doing our card show next Saturday, the 19th, and off of Melrose and Highland Ave. And I live like a mile down the road, so I live right next to where all the riots were going on and everything. My wife was like, if the Rams don't win, it's gonna be riots all over again tonight. So we're happy the Rams won tonight for sure.
Yeah.
So that brings my
Lakers I have. Go ahead, Mr. Thomas.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to butt in. For the panel right here, now that football's over and baseball's still on strike, what's everyone doing? I mean,
hockey, man. Hockey.
Basketball. Basketball is me. That's all I do is read basketball.
Do they play like overseas? No, I'm just kidding. Is that the new F1? No.
Basketball should definitely be picking up. All-Star breaks right now, so basketball. I mean, if basketball don't pick up now after All-Star break on in the playoffs, then we got some real issues.
True.
I don't collect basketball, except I'll pick up a few Shaqs here and there, but I don't really see. I mean, it just with my eye, I think basketball is already at its peak as it is.
Basketball is down like 75%. The market overall,
right?
The market's down big time.
I mean, the rookies aren't showing like they did a couple of weeks ago. So
LaMelo has been.
Well, last year.
He'll get injured. He'll get injured again though.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think now's the perfect time for basketball. And then We have, I mean, there's so much basketball related content regarding the Lakers, especially coming out this year. You know, you get the Showtime, or no, it's called, what's the one with John C. Reilly on HBO? What's that documentary?
The Lake Show. But that's
it's like Boogie Nights meets like the Lakers. You know, they got that. They got the Kobe documentary, the doc series coming out on Netflix in August. They got
isn't there something Bird Magic related coming out?
I don't know, but they got the thing on Hulu as well coming out. Another like 10-part series. And then they have another one. They have the Golden Auction thing coming out on Netflix. There's so much content coming out about the hobby, sports in general. You know, I mean, I think it's kind of the perfect storm brewing for the market right now for the hobby.
You know, from a 49er standpoint, nothing happened during the Joe Montana one. I mean, they just got through having a Joe Montana documentary. I don't remember which one it was.
Peacock,
his cars didn't do squat.
What channel was that on?
Peacock.
That was Peacock.
Oh yeah, but see, nobody. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's who has Peacock. You know,
like
a lot of people. I think the whole documentary thing. I think we're past that point. You get that impact
on the way of the jersey card.
Yeah,
so it's on the way of the jersey card, the documentary.
You get a couple of times where that's going to work, and then every time the effect lessens and lessens and lessens and becomes less and less. You can't have a spike every time anybody has a documentary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of sports stuff coming out this year, so I think collectively, even if it's not one each documentary pumping it, I think collectively, you know, it's going to help build the hype up around it. You know, I mean, there's literally, I think, 4 different things coming out about the Lakers. Magic Johnson has one on Apple TV coming out as well. I mean, there's so much stuff coming out. It's crazy. But yeah, maybe not each spike. I don't think it's going to be like The Last Dance for sure. But I think we're definitely going to, collectively, I think a lot of this is going to start gaining more interest, you know?
Hey, FD, I got one more question before I jet off. For everyone here, plus I'd like to hear also Mr. Jeremy's point on this, because he brought it up. I mean, he pumps out his good hockey content, and I've, you know, for a guy that lives over here in Washington State, you know, we got our, you know, minor league hockey. Why isn't hockey as popular? I mean, I'm just saying that this is just as your basic collector. Why isn't hockey, you know, as popular as you would almost assume it should be, as being, I mean, it's still considered a major sport regardless of, you know, the hobbies look at it.
I mean, you got me. I think everyone's missing the boat. Or listen, it comes down to what you enjoy, what you grew up with, what sports resonate with you, what you might have played, what was accessible. One of the biggest things you hear about hockey is that it's a very expensive sport to play. So if fewer kids get into it, you gotta, you know, the equipment, you gotta rent the ice time with this and that. True. You can't just go to the basketball court at any schoolyard sort of thing and take a ball with you. You need a lot more than the ball to play a game of hockey. You know, it was a big deal when Wayne Gretzky got traded from Edmonton to LA in 1988 and started there, and that did jumpstart a big expansion throughout the U.S. like to places like Florida and Dallas and Carolina and etc. And it just didn't catch on. I think a lot of it has to do with the marketing that the NHL does. I don't think that they're the strongest of marketers. And you know, you also, another common reason is that the players that wear the helmets, so you can't see their faces as much, which makes it a little bit harder to market them. Yeah, I mean, it's just baseball's America's pastime. You know, hockey is more of is obviously Canada's pastime. Although some may argue lacrosse and that, but we'll go with hockey. And so you know, those are the reasons that pop into my mind. It's a fun sport. You know, you have the sort of the contact of football and then some, and the speed and finesse of basketball. There's almost no baseball, except maybe the back catcher is a little bit like a goalie, but that's a different function. So, I mean, that's all I can think of. It's really what people grew up and what they see on the highlights every night before they go to bed, and all these different factors come into play. But that's what I would say. But I have noticed recently that hockey cards are, I think everyone's noticed, they are hot. They've gone up in value. There's a lot of special cards that are really catching fire. And I think that as people in the hobby look for other avenues and look for other segments and niches to maybe exploit, capitalize on, or just find interest in and collect, hockey is reasonable. I mean, it's been around for a very long time, as long as any of the other sports. It's got a lot of tradition. The original 6 teams, 4 of them are from the United States. There's big followings for those teams: Detroit, Boston, New York, and Chicago. And so, I mean, it should be more popular. I see soccer climbing the ladder on the gem rate stats and on the eBay stats, and how big the markets are. And so, it's sad to see soccer overtake hockey by such a wide margin to me, because, you hear a lot of people talk about the big sports, it's always basketball, football, baseball. Well, to me, to us being Canadians, I think we think that it's the big 4 sports, and that 4th sport is hockey. But in the hobby, soccer has become the 4th sport, and hockey's been pushed down to number 5. And I think, I don't like it, but hey, it's good. It makes some hockey cards a little bit more affordable, perhaps. But if you look at gem rate and the amount of cards that PSA is pumping out in hockey related to the other sports, there's grading scarcity there. There's slab scarcity there compared to the others. So them are some random thoughts.
Those are excellent points. I totally agree with you, Jeremy. Totally. And also too, I think people would just have to make a connection with it, because I live here in Philadelphia, and everybody I know who goes to a Flyers game, they love it. They fall in love with hockey, and they're like, oh my God, it takes sometimes for people to actually experience it live. Then they'll start watching it on TV. Like, I'll put it on TV.
Yeah.
And lately I've been following Sarah Fuller on the women's side, and she's young and she's very good, and her cards are pretty reasonable, but they're started to increase in value as well. But yeah, I just think it's a connection piece, but the biggest thing is the marketing, as you said. I hope they do a better job with marketing hockey players.
Yeah, I mean, it's the marketing, and it's where you live. Because when I was in Detroit, the Red Wings, and when I was even in Chicago or St. Louis, hockey's big.
Oh, the Red Wings were the best team in the 90s. Steve Yzerman. Yeah, you had all those guys. Yeah, Nicholas Lindstrom.
Fedorov.
Yeah, but the other big thing with that, too, is I think ESPN just picked up hockey for the first time this year. And forever, right? Wow. Hockey would get no national coverage. So, I mean, that's one of the biggest factors, I think, too. Yeah. And now hockey's actually finally starting to get national coverage. So that's a big thing, and I think with that lockout, the big lockout in the 90s, that kind of pushed, hockey aside too back then. Whenever these lockouts happen, it always leaves a sour taste in fans' mouths, because people are like, oh, greedy.
Baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, baseball ruined itself in the 90s too. I mean, everybody,
baseball might be able to ruin itself right now. I mean,
I'd recommend that people who want to, have a look, go on YouTube and do a search for like Connor McDavid's top 10 goals, or Sidney Crosby's, or one of these guys, and just watch, especially Connor McDavid. Watch what this guy does at a high speed. No other athletes do that. You don't see that in football, basketball, or for sure not baseball. Check it out. Not to take anything away from those sports and those skill sets and all of that. I love, they're all great sports, but just look.
We're on blades and we're running.
Look what these guys do at super high speed on 2 blades under their feet with a puck this size at the end of a stick that's 5-6 feet away from them. So it's pretty impressive.
The other thing too is if people aren't familiar with hockey, if you never really got to, you don't understand it, just go to a hockey game. I'm not a big hockey guy at all. I used to watch it in the 90s and stuff, but my uncle, he actually built the Boston Garden. He's like, did all the concrete, all the infrastructure for it. So we go to Bruins games every once in a while when I go back home to Boston. I'm in LA, but I'll go back to Boston, and we went over Christmas last year, and like just seeing a game in person, the energy of the fans, and like the speed, what Jeremy was saying, the aggression, the passion, it's such an energy inside of a hockey arena. And I've been to it. Like, you go to a baseball game, you're falling asleep come the 7th inning. That's why you're getting up the stretch, because you're literally falling asleep, But a hockey game, the energy is like, it's man, like, if you want to understand hockey, go to a game, see it in person, because, I mean, blows most sports away live, blows, like I said, baseball, soccer, all that stuff away live. I mean, hockey is It's a different beast. It's
I
fun.
remember
Games
my
are really
first
fun.
hockey match in St. Louis. This was years ago, like 2002, and I'm sitting probably 4 rows off the ice, and I just couldn't take everything in. And then somebody, the game wasn't full, right? So someone suggested to me, "Hey, if they go way up into the cheaper seats and really see the strategy that's going on the ice." And when I went up there, I got a totally different respect for what I was sitting and watching.
That's a really good point, FD, because it's so true. There's so many different places you can sit at a hockey game with those different perspectives. They all give you a fully different look of the game itself. It's fun to be down low. It's fun to be behind the net and get that long view of the ice. It's fun to sit at center ice and get that side view. But if you go up high, you can see the play developing, and you get a. I think that's where you get the best appreciation for it. Scouts sit up high and look down on the game, right? So when they're looking for that sort of the IQ angle of the game and that skill set. But FD, I got to roll myself. So
Jeremy, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I appreciate it. Great to see everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great night. Thank you. Thanks, FD.
Yep. Michael,
Bye,
to your
I'm gonna
first
roll
question,
right behind him. FD, thanks for having us on, brother.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Bye.
To your first thought, Michael, my opinion is I think a lot of people right now, if you don't like basketball, you're basically chasing soccer for the World Cup. You're chasing F1 because that season's going to be starting soon, and the new Netflix season came out, so there's a lot of hype built behind that right now. They also just launched a new product. The other thing is UFC, man. I've seen a lot of people buying UFC. I bought some Chronicles blasters of UFC, and they had gone up almost $30 since I bought them about 2 months ago. It's just because it's becoming a hotter product and it's not on shelves anymore. But I think those are kind of the big three. For me, when it comes to like why is hockey not hot, it's because I think this last year we've seen a lot of people getting back into the hobby more than people that have been in the hobby. And I think a lot of people, when they were getting back into it, got back into what they were comfortable with or what they already had, which is usually basketball or football or baseball, But the one thing for me too is you don't see a lot of hockey at shows. You see a lot of vintage, you see a lot of Gretzky, but you don't see a lot of you don't see a lot of people ripping hockey either. And ripping wax is another reason that things pick up. That's how F1 really got hot. So
I got 2 more people coming in I want to bring in. We can continue the conversation. I got TJ from Gold Label Sports, and I got Dan, the Great Curator here. Welcome. How you all doing? And I also want to introduce Kaboom.
What's up, guys?
Cards.
What up, Dan?
Kaboom Cards is here as well.
What's up, guys?
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you all for being here. What did you all think of the game?
Loved it. I thought
Great game. Great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was rooting for the Bengals, but it's nothing like watching a championship game where really your team is not involved. It's very relaxing. You see
a lot less pressure
in the game. You're not really worried about it because it's not the Bears,
Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling when your team is not there. It's a
I'm a Packers fan, so don't get me started.
TJ, I didn't know this.
I know.
This is a rare year. We're not in the Super Bowl.
Championship game.
You can see it out of the corner there. It's kind of hidden away. There's these Packers Super Bowl ticket replicas over there.
Oh, I do see it. And the other day you brought out your ownership certificate. Yeah.
So now I'm a NFL owner. So I got to go throw Aaron Rodgers off the island myself.
All right. Well, TJ, you got Carlos riding with you, man.
Well, hey, I got somebody.
Yeah. Now, like I said, as a new NFL owner, Aaron Rodgers and I have to have a talk.
Yeah.
It's not us, it's you.
Yeah. I agree, 100%.
Send him to Chicago then.
Here's the thing. I think it's mutually been. I got a kick out of when Favre left because I had no issue with anything Favre was doing. I enjoyed watching Favre play.
Yeah.
But there was a point in time where it's like, hey, you know what? This isn't going to work together anymore.
Yeah.
And by the way, I rooted for him when he went and had his moment in Minnesota. I thought it'd be fun. I wanted to see him go to one more Super Bowl. I thought it would have been fun to watch one time. But I knew he was going to throw an interception because he's Brett Favre. That's kind of what he does.
Yeah.
So it's going to be funny. So like for the content, if nothing else for the content, I want to watch this disaster. Give it to me. So I'm like, Rodgers, go. Denver, I don't care. Just go. Just go anywhere.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
I would
So
love
we
to
were just talking a little bit about hockey, but we can also jump into other.
I got to hop off, but before I go, since I am in the land of Canada as well, I can quickly speak on the hockey thing. Everybody here always loves it. I didn't grow up in Canada. I came here very early. That's why my English is unaccented. But I started off speaking Spanish and I took ESL classes. So, yo hablo español. But the point is that I never played a damn game of organized hockey in my life. I enjoyed the sport. My favorite player is a hockey player, and I collect the sport. I've collected it for a long time. It's fun to collect. The fan base is passionate, but it's still niche. There's nothing you can do to sell the sport to somebody who isn't interested in selling the sport.
Absolutely.
It's the same reason why I say like the F1 thing and all that stuff. It's like, that's cool. It's like, oh, millions of people have. I totally believe you. Lots of people like NASCAR too. And are you guys chasing the NASCAR cards? These sports are not new. We didn't recently invent any of them. The only reason you're going to appeal to somebody, and Jeremy said the prices go up, because they were cheap relative to the other stuff. So people go, oh, if it goes up in price, then I can make money. I don't care if it's Tiddlywinks cards then.
Right.
It makes no difference. Why would I care? Nothing personal. It's like hockey's great. Again, I collect it. But it's like, guys, the only reason the prices went up is because people saw dollar signs.
Yep.
The rest of us has been collecting this for years. It's like, it was cheap. I collect the first ballot Hall of Famer. The stuff I buy is cheap as hell.
I think one of the big things that's hindering us right now too is the border and all the high shipping rates right now. If there was cheaper shipping rates for international shipping, I think we would see a lot more people buying hockey and buying these sports from different countries around in Canada and Hawaii and this and that too.
It would help, yeah. But it's one of those things like you can show people the sport. Jeremy's right, 100% right. If you show somebody a live hockey game, you can get them to appreciate the sport. But the big point that I always make, and I'll kind of leave on this thought, and I say this for any sport, doesn't matter what it is. You can make somebody a fan of the sport. Doesn't mean I need the cards. It's like that was the point that people made about the Luka Doncic when it was going through the roof. It's like, oh, Luka Doncic has millions of fans. Yes, but they want shirts, they want jerseys, they want hats. They don't need cards. I'm a card collector. I watch a ton of football. Even in Canada, we were apparently allowed to have it. It hasn't been outlawed yet. Soon, but not yet. I've watched every Super Bowl since the early 90s. I've watched them all, and I've watched tons of playoff games, and I enjoy the sport, and I watch it. It's the sport I collect the least. Doesn't mean I don't have any football cards, and I'm a card collector. I've been collecting since 1990, uninterrupted. This is year 32 of me collecting cards. I am a card collector. I am a fan of the sport, and I still barely collect the cards. I'm not alone. People can enjoy the sport and they don't necessarily need the cards. Baseball's still my favorite. That's the one I collect number one. But I collect a single hockey player. I don't collect all hockey cards either.
Yep.
All collectors are a little bit different. We're all different in different ways. It's like, but you like the sport. Yeah. Doesn't mean I need the cards.
I personally don't collect any wax. I don't open wax. I don't buy wax. I don't buy hangers. I don't buy hobby boxes. I don't buy anything. That's my opinion. That's the worst form of gambling there is.
Yep.
I'm into singles. I'm into vintage. I'm into stuff that's I hate using this word because everybody's a fire or liquid now. Everybody's got these terms for the hobby, but I hate that so much. It's so cliche, but singles, slabbed singles, vintage singles is the way I go because it's always tradable and it's always movable. Wax is such a gamble, so I don't worry about opening hockey wax. I look for Lemieux. I look for Gretzky rookies that are singles. And the old Peachy, that's where I go for hockey. I look for Crosby, McDavid, anything I get my hands on, other than trying to catch one for a $600 box and then pull nothing. Pull the Jaromir Jagr autograph out of 500. It's just my opinion, though.
I will counter with this. Sometimes it's good too to buy a sealed box rather than buying an individual card.
If you're going to hold
sit
it
on the wax, sitting on wax.
Hold it. I can't hold that stuff.
Yeah, don't rip it.
I think it also kind of is counterproductive. Don't forget now we haven't produced nearly as many stuff. To be clear, I'm not comparing the two. But in the early 90s, a lot of people held it, and there's even more stuff that there should never have been existed because everybody thought the same thing. If everybody and their brother holds wax thinking that's the only thing that's going to hold value, then it turns out 95% of the wax will be available in 10 years too. Somebody's actually got to open the damn thing for it to be rare for someone to actually want it in 10 years.
Right.
So
it's like, it's a catch-22.
Holding wax for that, you hopefully that one player hits Hall of Fame, you got that wax sealed box, and then you can sell it because he might be in that box.
Right.
But to get 2 or 3 players out of that one box for sealed wax in the future is going to be tough.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
know there's
FD,
plenty
thank
of-
you for having me. I'm going to roll.
Carlos, thank you very much,
A
sir.
pleasure, sir. A
Being here.
pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Thank
A pleasure.
That's just another collectability thing, though, as well.
Right.
Some people just like to collect the boxes.
But what's cool about the hobby, right, is that you have different ways of collecting, different things that cater to different people and what their likes are. There are things that form. So I remember back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I opened a lot of basketball. Even when LeBron first came, 2003, 2004, I opened basketball. But then after that, I stopped opening anything. But at that time, I appreciated the fact that I was wired in that way and opened some stuff. But if people want to open, people want to hold, right now I look for single cards. But that's just where I'm at right now in the hobby. So that's something for everybody.
That's why I love the dollar boxes, I mean, you never know what someone
You never know what's going to be in there.
You never know what someone wants to get rid of for $1.
I think a big thing comes down with it, like just what I've been learning. I mean, a lot of people came in it for the money, and obviously in the beginning when COVID hit. But for me, I've always kind of just like invested, because that's what everyone says. But what I kind of believe in, I didn't really care if other people really liked it or not. Like I love sports. I've only ever bought Michael Jordan and LeBron cards because they're my 2 favorite athletes of all time. But I know this is sports, but also I love like Charizards just because I grew up on those and I collect rare ones. Sealed product, like you guys were saying, sealed. I don't open it and I won't ever open it because once you open it, right, those cards are very hard to get. So I think people are realizing that it's, obviously it was fun. We were all locked in our house, everything like that in terms of business. But then when you really separate the passionate, real collectors once the money doesn't come in, on autopilot when you can flip a box for $100. So I think it's kind of good where the hobby's at right now. I think just bringing back like the true, genuine people that are in it for the right reasons is kind of what I'm seeing from YouTube to Instagram, like the great curator. I know he loves PMGs and all that stuff. So I know he's in it for like the true, real reason, just collecting one specific thing. And I think, even right now for me, I'm not doing much sports buying, just where I'm at right now. So just like FD said, like everyone's got their own journey, path, purpose, and it's just what works for you. So.
Yeah, that Punisher that Punisher card he showed on his Instagram is insane.
Insane.
That was. You almost
the one today.
Did I see that?
I think I have it around here. Hold on.
That was an insane card.
This guy right here.
Oh my god,
that's crazy.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That's insane.
A great character too. Such a story. Though.
Just go ahead and come out with your book now, sir. Just go ahead and end it right now. Just get your own price tag.
What's been going on?
Sorry, was that directed at me? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
you. Sir. How you doing?
Oh yeah, just not too much. Just living the card life, guys. Traveling and making content and collecting PMGs. That's pretty much my life these days.
All right. Well, I got one more person to bring in, and this is Stephanie, mamabreaks. How you doing, Stephanie?
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
mamabreaks.
Here we are. Just got home. Was at a friend's house watching the game. What did you guys think?
Well, I wanted the Bengals to win, but I'm happy that it was a good game. It was a very good game.
I thought Aaron Donald was going to have a hell of a year and a season, and I'm glad he got that last sack. It was really nice.
Yeah, that was big. That was
I
big.
have some Aaron Donald rookies stashed away too, so
That's
maybe these defensive players are going to be something.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Aaron
you.
Donald, Chase Young, to me, those guys are definitely up there as far as defensive players that will make it big in the hobby one day. So.
I agree.
Someone else has love for the defense. Yay!
Yeah, she's absolutely right.
You have huge playmakers like Aaron Donald and Chase Young. They really are a part of making the game exciting too. And I feel like sometimes in football, they're not as collectible because we don't see their faces like basketball players and baseball players. But these guys are, Sports Center, NFL, ESPN loves to put Aaron Donald's face on everything. So.
Yeah, I think the sport itself is doing a better job at that, of getting the defensive players in front of the camera, taking their helmets off, having a conversation with them. You get to learn more about them, how they grew up, where they went to school, what decisions they made, and they even show you more about how they prep to play. I never saw that before for a defensive player. What kind of condition are you going through? What's your diet like? We know a lot more about players now than we used to. Those are good things.
I think Aaron Donald, I mean, he's the most exciting defensive player since Reggie White, for me at least. You know, remember growing up watching Reggie White, and he was the man. You know, he was on every commercial, everything. That's what Aaron Donald reminds me of now. I mean, that guy's a different breed. You know, that guy is,
If you don't mind, let me touch on that subject if you don't mind. I'm sorry, FD. I mean, I know you got questions.
Go ahead. What you got?
I mean, FD knows, and those that know me know I'm a big, Bryant Young fan since, he was my favorite player when I was in the service. So that's why I was collecting him, and that's why I jumped back into the hobby, and with, connecting with FD and understanding how to be an actual player collector, because times have really changed. Nobody really player collects anymore, mainly because Panini makes 99, cards for every person that's a rookie. But my question is, with this Hall of Fame class, there wasn't no big name player on the Hall of Fame thing, but they were all players that we knew as we grew up as players, but they're now getting what do y'all call this? The spark in their popularity is like all of a sudden Bryant Young rookie cards are going for $100 graded cards. I showed FD about that. I'm like, I was, for the longest time I was buying it like $10, $20, even for a graded, maybe $50. I have y'all been in collecting longer than I have. Why is it that the defensive players, even the Hall of Famers that we know, from Singletary to Taylor, Mean Joe Green, Cedric Hardman, and the people like that, why aren't they actually, even to Beckett, not even accepted? It's all offense when it comes to collecting. I'll just put to a collector. I'm not saying as a seller. I mean, only a handful are going to sell. Like Aaron Donald's going to sell. Your TJ Watts and Jalen Ramsey's are going to sell.
They're not skill positions. It just goes all the way back to next we'll be fighting for offensive lineman cards and for their value to go up. But
trench warfare, sir. Trench warfare.
I know who gets the job done. Don't get me wrong. The O-line, the D-line, defense wins ball games, all true. But the values were the guys who have the ball in their hand.
Yeah, well, stats.
Catching it, running it, throwing it.
Yeah.
Fullback, Lorenzo Neal. Look at those guys. The Moose. They don't get no love, and they open so many holes for Emmitt Smith to run, Daryl Johnson to run through those holes. They get no love.
Who are those last two people?
Is it Daryl Johnston? Is that
who are those last two people?
Yeah. Fullback.
Yeah.
Fullback for the Cowboys.
Yeah, okay,
they're
gotcha.
The silent heroes. They're not the the main playmakers.
They do all the work, but the guy that's scoring.
And I think you also have more personalities that are at skill positions, quarterbacks, things of that nature, that make them more marketable. They're in front of people talking. They represent the team. That matters, I think, even outside of collecting. For the average person to know who Stafford is, they're not going to know who probably the guard is or who the defensive end is, unless that person is very, very special in how they play.
Or that's your team.
All that goes into it.
Yeah. I hate to say I know FD played football. I'm 5'6" and I played 6 years of football. And even in high school, they call those positions skill positions. Like, so when you come out, where's all the skill players, skill positions? It's wrong. Like, what do you mean? I got no value. I'm on the line, But that's always how it's been even through high school, college. The guys that are putting the ball in their hands.
Yeah. At the end of the day, too, it's the people that are actually putting up points. People that catching the ball in the end zone, throwing the ball, person that's running. A guy that's getting a sack or two a game, it's big, but you see 1 or 2 sacks, people aren't really getting excited about that.
True.
Yep. It carries value with their cards after that.
It calls into the play the whole pitcher situation in baseball too. I mean, if you're talking about players that have the ball for the most of the game, I mean, that's the pitcher in baseball, but you still don't see their values where they should be as far as
Yeah, pitchers are undervalued for sure.
Well, they made a commercial about it a while back, and it was simply put, chicks dig the long ball. So, everybody loves the home run. That's what baseball's about. Baseball's not about the ball. Football's about the ball. Baseball's about the bat. But who's hitting home runs? Who's putting them over the fence? Who's chasing those records? That's what they care about. So the two transitioning sports are different in that sense.
I'm with Stephanie though. That's really just to me something special. Like I looked at some Scherzer cards not that long ago, and those things are really undervalued compared to where he's at in his career and what he's doing. I love pitching. You know, I can get into a game that's 1-0 in the top of the ninth inning. You know, and I grew up in an era though where you had Vince Young, Vince Coleman, you had Ricky Williams, you had people running bases. A lot of small ball going on, and I still appreciate that. So,
I agree, FD. Strasburg, Kershaw, Eric Gagne, all those guys. So I grew up loving pitching too.
Mr. Curator, what do you feel about that?
I think it's about marketing. You know, it's like with football, it's a little bit unique because football is like the ultimate team sport, right? Where the quarterbacks, for example, are designated as like the leaders of the team, and they're the golden boys. They're the ones who have the ball all the time. They're the ones who are marketed the most. So everybody else is just like an afterthought, really. And I think you guys touched on most of it, where either they're not getting marketed, their contributions are limited in comparison to, you know, like the quarterback and things like that. Whereas other sports like basketball, right? Everybody can be marketable if they're really good, or even in baseball, with the exception of the pitchers, because they don't play every day. Yeah. So football is just a little bit different just because, and they're, you know, like they wear helmets and stuff. So you can't really get to know who they are unless you really study them. But it just has to do with the marketing, I think. And that's why people, when they collect football, right, there's just so many players to collect. They try to focus on like the main guys of each of their teams.
Do you think player collecting is getting outdated now?
You mean like having a player, like a PC player that you just collect, or is that what you mean? I mean, I think everybody has a PC. I don't think it's necessarily outdated. I mean, that's what keeps it interesting, right? You have to have one guy that you collect that is your dude, right? And it elicits some type of emotional response, and that's the one you focus on. Like everybody has a PC player, and then to keep things moving, whether you're trying to make money off of it or flip or something like that, you collect the other guys too, right? But everybody has like a PC, so I don't know if it's necessarily outdated. I mean, I know for me, I've got like certain guys that I just collect all their cards no matter what.
I mean, for us, yes, I understand that. I'm talking about like for the kids coming up. I understand that there's different ways that they can still player collect, even on I'll say on a family budget, because there's really no master collector of like Curry's or Luca's and stuff like that, just by price wise.
Well, I think that most people are not completists anymore, right? Like we can't collect all the cards just because there's too many of them now. But I don't know, like most of the people that I encounter, they all have like one guy that they always try to go after, like in basketball, Kobe, LeBron, and then some of these newer guys. So that's just kind of my experience from all the shows that I attend.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan, because I think it's just different now. Like in '87, Jerry Rice had one rookie card. Just one card. Yeah. So you could,
that's how it should always be.
And his second year, he had one card. So, you could really collect those cards. But now there's variations. There's different things going on. You have some that are very affordable to some that are very expensive. So it's, I think each collector kind of finds what they're into, and then they start collecting the people or the person that they're into. But I know a lot of collectors who primarily collect one person or maybe two players. Yeah, and that's it. You start talking to them about something else. So like, I can appreciate that, but that's not what I collect.
I'd love to hear who everybody PCs in here. And not your Michael, your Jordan, your LeBron, Kobe, just like everybody's PC who you got like, either your prospect or your dark horse. That'd be fun to hear.
Jordan.
What'd you say, Kaboom?
Rookie only. Jordan rookies only.
Oh no, but not Jordan. So you don't PC anybody besides Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. That's it.
See, my problem was, and I explained it on FD's last video, was I like too much. I like Curry. I like anything has a good value. I went after the great curator twice and tried to hit him with the rookie.
I had to do the Jordan defense on him twice.
But I hit him with some bangers. A rookie Jackie Robinson, a rookie Hank Aaron 4. I went hard. So I got rid of everything I had and put it into Jordan rookies. That's all I collect now because I like too much. Like I got so much stuff. I'm just trying to narrow it down because I'll keep collecting too much and I'll have a pile of Currys and I'm tired of playing the market going like this. I want to stick with something and just put everything into those cards. So if you ever see me at a show and you ask me to see my cards, I'll show you. It's all Jordan rookies now.
Sounds like a good problem to have, though.
Yeah. It took a long time to get there. I'm not flexing, but I've had a lot of valuable cards, and I just dumped them all into those because, like I told FD in his last video, if something takes a hit, those are always going to have a good value, for what I need them for.
I'm going to get out of here so someone else can get in, FD. It's been fun.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Good. Nice to meet you guys.
Take care, brother. Yep. What about you, TJ? What would be your go-to?
I'm like my guy Kaboom, man. I do like really oddball Jordan cards that people kind of like don't know about, like stickers, and I try to really stay in the rookie years, kind of the first 2 or 3 years. But if I had to pick somebody from today, you guys are probably gonna laugh at me, but I loved Zion. I thought Zion was gonna be awesome, but I mean, you know what's going on with that. So I kind of sold all mine. I had like all the PSA 10 rookies, blah, blah, blah. I sold them at the right time, thankfully. And it will take me a lot to go back, a lot to go back. Okay. You can't gain 50 pounds just hanging out, man. You got to stay ready if you want to be traded so bad. Sure. So that was me. Then did some Ja Morant for a while, but I try to really stay away from like the ultra modern, more cards and just stay, more vintage. Like, Kaboom said, I kind of stay where the value's at because I've seen people go 25K deep into the more modern and just blow it and just get screwed. And that like scared me really bad. So we'll not be doing that. So I'll stay with my Jordans for now.
What about you, Dan?
Well, besides the main guys, I do like everybody else, Kobe, LeBron, Jordan. I would say since I grew up in the 90s, Eddie Jones is a favorite of mine. Before Kobe, he was the guy that I followed for basketball. I'm mainly a basketball guy. I don't really collect the other sports too much, but I also do some of the niche things that probably nobody in this room does, like Marvel and wrestling. So I'll just say for wrestling, Hulk Hogan's my guy. He's the guy I collect a lot. And then for Marvel, I'll say Captain America.
What about Ultimate Warrior, Dan?
Oh, I know you're Warrior. Come on, if you see this, hold on.
Come on, bro.
If you see that right there.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. I got my Ultimate Warrior portrait.
The Warrior is my dude, too. You know that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I know you like Kershaw, right?
Yes. So Kershaw's my main guy. I'm filling binders and binders of Kershaw stuff. I just want everything that has ever been made of him. But I guess prospect, I really pay attention to these big market utility players in baseball. I'm all baseball. When you ask me about football and basketball, I don't know the sport as well as I know baseball. I played softball in high school and middle school. So I would say my pick for like the prospect I like to collect right now is Jake Cronenworth. I like utility players. I think with Tatis and his injuries, they're going to be moving him around, maybe putting him at short. And I thought the Padres had a chance at, making a playoff run last season, but you saw how that happened. So I don't know about this year, but I still like Jake. And as far as basketball, I think that basketball inserts aren't paid attention to as much. So personally, I love the Prism inserts, like the widescreen and the sophomore stars. So I collect anything I can get my hands on that I like with jaw inserts. And I'll try to go after those like rare hyper variations. Hyper specifically because it's a prism parallel. And I really like the look of it. I don't understand why silver outsells hyper if hyper is more rare. So I know you guys have noticed that before too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
right,
one of the things too, though, with those packs, I know like fast break versus like a regular blue, like a fast break blue is like number 175, whereas a regular blue is number like 199. The fast break packs are actually cheaper than like what the blue would come in. So that's why they're regarded as being like worth less money, because the other packs are more expensive and it's like technically harder to get because they're more expensive. But even though the print run's different, it's just, you know, it's kind of, you know, going on that scale of like the premium that you're paying for the packs.
Oh no, I'm talking specifically the hyper parallel.
Oh well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Certain inserts come in certain packs. Like hyper might come in hobby or retail or whatever. So it probably falls into that category of however much the packs were or whatever it is, you know. Or at the end of the day too, it's also supply and demand. You know, whatever. People don't really know about hyper as much as they know silver. So
you can only get hyper in hobby, and you can get silver in a cello pack. So that's just that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find in the hobby that it's about kind of the voice of the hobby. There are some things that makes no logical sense to me on why the price is up or why the price could be down or why certain people are not looking at certain cards. You know, I say all the time, LeBron in 2003 has the Topps Chrome. Everybody looks for that. But there are other rare cards of LeBron 2003. What's King knows the game that people do not look at or do not talk about. And if you talk to people in conversation about them, they'll say, maybe, what are you talking about?
Yeah, they don't even know about them.
They're out there. They're out there. So I want to welcome JD the Collector to the group.
What's up, fellas and ladies? How you guys doing?
And JD, you can jump right in here. We were just talking about what is the player besides like the big names that we know, LeBron, Kobe, things like that, or Jordan, that you may that you may be looking for as far as a player that you are PCing.
Well, everybody knows my PC is Kyrie, but I was watching you guys before. One of the questions like, what else do you guys collect besides that? And right now, I'm jumping into like Star Wars too. You know, I feel like Star Wars has like a big market. I like going after gold stuff that's numbered. Obviously, I think the prism based stuff is going down a little bit, so I like going after more rare things like you guys are talking about. Low number stuff, autos, something that's like just different. So when you guys go to a show, you just see different things and that you don't usually see. So that's what I try to collect recently.
And we got Merle World Cards that just joined us.
Merlin. Yeah, what's off? Woo! Go Rams, baby. Just made it from the valley. Woo! 90 degrees today. Love it.
Now the party started.
Yes, right, baby. Woo!
So we were just talking about Merle World. We were just talking about what are you PCing from a particular card type or player perspective that's not like Jordan, LeBron, or Kobe, like something that really gets into what your PC is.
Well, after this Super Bowl tonight, I am very happy because of Cooper Kupp. I have been stacking up on the Cooper Kupps RPAs. And the great curator knows I was buying them in Houston at trade night. And it's definitely paid off tonight, hopefully. So I can't wait. And then I heard JD Collector talk about Star Wars. And I know that Dan and I have been buying a lot of Star Wars. We just bought a few boxes of the Galaxy Chrome. And those things, you know, have great hits in them. A lot of good parallels, autographs. You know, so there's a lot of bang to your buck in that Star Wars stuff. And I'm really digging in. I feel like a kid again with that Star Wars and Marvel stuff. Definitely.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, what about you, Erica?
Venus and Serena, Shannon Sharp, Jackie Jordan Percy. You know, I'm more of the legends. Flojo, even though she doesn't have many. You know, so that's kind of who I collect. Grant Hill, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady. You know, I dibble dabble in the modern a little bit, but what I really appreciate is, you know, 90s. into early 2000s.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, Michael Thomas, I know that you're on Brian Young, correct?
Yes, it is. I'm just showing off, as you know, probably my best, his graded card. It's a pop 3 of his Gem 10, since everything's going up. And my other one, of course, is our other Hall of Famer, actually our first, is Nomalini.
Oh, wow.
Nice little 1951 Nomalini. Yeah, I'm get off when I say this. That's what I kind of look at collecting. I'm not into a lot of the new way of doing things. I just collect a player now. And my look at the players is, okay, longevity with the team, like history. I mean, honestly, I was shocked to see Bryant Young even make the Hall of Fame with the names on that list. If I was a bet man, he would have had one of the worst bet, averages of even making that team for this year's Hall of Fame. But anyway, but yeah, it's longevity for the team and what they meant. But I thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.
You too, man.
I'm right there with you, bro. See you guys later.
All right, Kaboom. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Now, what's King? What do you get into? I know you have varied cards that you have that are low population, nice. What do you really get into?
Yeah. I mean, I'm all about serial numbered, low pop. The rarer the better for me. Like you were saying before, with LeBron Topps Chrome, people are paying $10K for PSA 10 with whatever the pop is, 3K, 4K, whatever. And then, when you go to some of those less known sets, like the serial number ones, number to 500, 100 or whatever, like just rare cool stuff like the secret weapons. I remember you saw that when I posted that one. That's like a pop 4 PSA 10 number to, I think it's 500, and I got that card for I think $4,000, and it's so much of a sicker card than a Topps Chrome like PSA 10 with a pop 4. So definitely go for that lower pop rarer stuff. But as I think you saw a lot of my cards. Donovan Mitchell's my dude for like the prospect. For the new guys, that's my PC guy, Donovan Mitchell. That's who I because his cards are relatively cheap compared to everybody else. The Trays, the Lucas, the Tatums, all that. Guy performs just as well. They just got to get over that playoff hump. That's the thing. The team is solid, the coach is solid, the whole staff there is solid. But Donovan Mitchell's my dude. I have fun collecting him. Lots of sick cards in 2017, and in 2017 the cards they weren't as high pop as they are now. 2018 was kind of that year when all the cards started getting like crazy inflated with pop counts. So. Yep, for new guys, Donovan's my dude. He's fun to collect. He reminds me of like a young Dwayne Wade, that type of guy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I may be prospecting a lot, but I'm a big fan. I've talked about this a lot of James Wiseman with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. He's nice.
When's he going to come back and play?
I think he's going to schedule a little bit after All-Star break.
Oh, he is?
Playing again.
Looking good.
Yeah, I think he was on the same timeline as Clay, and then they went back in to clean some stuff up in his knee. And then we'll see what he does, especially as they get close to the playoffs, and then what next season brings to him. Wiseman is only 20 or 21 years old. So,
yeah. Yep. Just stay healthy.
That's all he needs to do: stay healthy, stay in the system, play his role. He has a lot of great players around him. But, he doesn't have to take the team and put him on his back. And we'll see what he does as he goes forward. What's in the future for him? Oh yeah, I know we got some comments here. Merle, excuse me, Michelle was sort of moon. Merle, you had some people here. I think I'll give you a little shout out.
What's that?
Find them right now. But Merle, you got the guns out tonight, right?
Yeah. I did. Well, I got my dude. It's my Richard Simmons shirt. I went to go like about 5-6 years ago. I went to work out with Richard Simmons for my birthday one time.
Oh really?
Over in Beverly Hills. And dude, like I had to do this like dance routine with Richard Simmons, and it got a little risque. He took my shirt off and acted like he was gonna lick my like torso. And then I was like, oh my God. And then I go to work the following Monday, and apparently like this picture is all over the Sunday LA Times. All my coworkers, my friends, like, what are you doing? Like, dude, I just went for my birthday for Richard Simmons. I didn't know he was going to act so crazy and everything. And you just see him going like to my body.
You gotta save that story for Mer World After Dark.
Yeah, that's a great story for Mer World After Dark. Because you got me right before I had the chance to ask. So what was it?
But man, it was 90 degrees in the valley. It was so freaking hot. Like, so I had to wear like shorts and a tank top in LA on a Super Bowl Sunday. Who knew it was going to be this hot? I mean, the kids were everybody was in the pool when I got there, and it was just, but there was so much food, but it was too damn hot to eat. So much yummy stuff. Did y'all have a good Super Bowl? Y'all watch it?
It was good. It was good.
It was a lot of fun.
Great game. God. What's up, Feed the Gods? Aaron, I see him. Hey, Dan and Merlin. I guess he's watching.
Yeah. Jeff, I received the cards that you sent. I haven't opened them yet, but I have received. I'll let you know though when I get them open.
What's everybody think about 50 Cent?
Oh, he shocked me. Like, was he supposed to be in this show? Was that talked about?
Yes.
Coming down upside down, and
that's his first video. His first video.
You think he would have hit the gym a little bit before or something? You're gonna.
Oh, do you think he was a little chubby? That's what my girlfriend said.
You go on Instagram, everybody. I was like, what happened? He used to be jacked. He used to. Yeah, that guy. I think it was all voiceover too. I think they were just playing the song. He's kind of like talking over.
No, they're all backtrack.
Yeah, everybody. Eminem, you could tell is definitely. Yeah, but I mean,
the Super Bowl went to backtrack. What, 6 years ago when somebody said something crazy?
No, they always have to do it. They have to do it.
They sing over it too, but they lower in the mix, you know. So they're still singing, but they're kind of like trying to blend those levels. But yeah, the backtrack is the main thing. But 50 Cent, man, that dude should have hit the gym before or something. Like,
wow,
he just I don't know what happened with him.
He still looks, built. He's just a little more huskier than usual.
Yeah,
but the show was off the hook, and I hope they have more hip hop artists coming in, in the future Super Bowls. It was long overdue. Because where are these guys before? Don't they know their demographics? Where were these guys? I don't need another Maroon 5.
Well, I think it seems
I may be the Weekend.
It just seemed like after Janet Jackson, the Super Bowl went to a shock. You know, after Janet performed, they went to a certain artist, very conservative artist, for years.
Yep.
So, they even asked Adele 2 years ago, and Adele goes, "Listen, I love football, but my songs aren't halftime, hype, songs."
Yeah. No, but what I think they're starting to do too is because when they were in Atlanta, they had Outkast because Outkast is from Atlanta, and then when they came to LA, it's all LA artists, so they did all like Dre, Snoop. So I think that's what they're kind of trying to steer towards. Every place where they're having the Super Bowl, they're trying to go towards those like hometown artists. So I'm sure if the Super Bowl's in Tennessee in a couple of years, we're gonna have like some country rock or whatever.
Oh yeah, like country medley.
That's what I'm saying. So the Super Bowl is trying to gear towards whatever territories it is, which I think is cool. Actually, kind of paying homage to.
Because next year it's in Glendale, Arizona, so it'd be.
Oh, I to Glendale, Arizona. I'm like Glendale.
I live in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm like I didn't even know there's a Glendale, Arizona.
Oh yeah, that's what it's in Arizona next year. Really?
Oh, I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, I've been in that stadium. It's a very nice stadium.
And then when's Vegas hosting?
Oh, it's got to be coming up. It's got to be coming up.
It's pretty soon.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting. They'll probably have like the Killers and I don't know who else.
That'd be a nice
Sinatra. A hologram of Frank Sinatra.
Well, people were speculating on if they were going to have a hologram of Tupac tonight.
I know. I thought that would happen tonight because I was at Coachella 10 years ago when they
had that
same show.
I was there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Just he's a chubby. Charles said, just really thick.
Yeah, Charles said chubby.
Since we're on
That's
the
what
subject,
I said. That's what I said. He was
since
still
we're on the subject. What do you guys think of musician cards? Because I know Kendrick Lamar. I have a Dodgers first pitch card of his that's top.
Ooh.
But I don't know. Does Dre or 50 Cent have cards?
I don't know, but you're tickling my fancy with that. I've got to go look for them tonight. I love that stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think what that guy his name's Carvin. Do you guys know him?
Yeah.
He's the guy who designed the Upper Deck Exquisite. He's coming out with his own set of cards. They're called like Infinity, and they focus all on just entertainment. And the first ones that are coming out are the Weekend.
Yeah, I saw.
I did see that. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll have its niche. I think it'll have its niche collector's market.
Josh Luber's really big on musician cards, so I think he's going to even have Pops do some too, because he's like the Kim Kardashian Jay-Z collector too.
Oh yeah, because the vintage music stuff is really starting blowing up right now. Like rock stars and pop artists from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s are all blowing up with graded. Everybody's grading that stuff, like the Panini stickers and everything.
We got a question.
Merle or 50 Cent?
Yeah, we got a question.
Hey, this is Merle, man.
If you'd have came in this live hanging upside down, then you really saw.
Oh, I should have that. Now, what was that about? Why did he hang upside down? I was like,
his first video, he's hanging upside
down. Okay.
Yeah.
Looked a little dangerous.
A little throwback. Just a little throwback.
With all that super niche stuff, though, I mean, I'd say, I wouldn't rely on that to go up or down. It's cool stuff, and that's type of stuff where, like, you collect what you love. Like if you like that stuff, if that's something, it's cool stuff. Like, don't buy that to think it's gonna, moon. And you buy that stuff because you think it's cool, you like it. You don't mind if it doesn't go up. You put it in the PC. It's just a cool thing to have if you want to put your tables or whatever. But if you're trying to be in it for profit, I'd stick to the proven stuff, and you can kind of veer outside of that a little bit. But I mean, that stuff's fun to collect though. It's like Dan knows, great curator, like I love the Ultimate Warrior. I started collecting his rig cards. He collects them, and that stuff, like, you don't expect to get rich off of that stuff. That's stuff that you just loved them growing up. So there's some off-ball stuff, like the 1966 Batman rookie card, the first issue of that. I got a couple of those. Love that card. I'm not expecting to get rich off that. I mean, it will go up maybe whatever with the movie, but that's just an awesome collector's item. 1940 Gum Ink Superman card, first issue, like, just cool off-ball stuff, but that doesn't have a huge following, behind it. But like, as far as a card wise, but that stuff I collect because that's actually what I enjoy collecting.
Yep. So next, I have one more person I had.
Okay.
Who is Alex from the Union Marketplace?
What's going on? What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm having a hard time seeing who's in here, but I don't know if that's my
he's
phone.
in the car, dark in the car.
We got the great curator. We got
he's driving the SoFi Stadium right now as we speak.
No, I just literally landed from Vegas. I got off the plane and I was like, I gotta come in and show FP some love, see how everybody was doing, man. I didn't even get to watch a game.
What?
Really?
Oh no!
Yeah, I didn't even get to watch a game. I flew out of this. I don't know if anybody's ever flew JSX. They didn't even have a TV in the lobby. I was so bummed. So
yeah. JSX is cool. That's
fun. That's honestly, I really highly recommend.
It's the only way to go.
It's the only way to go. It really is.
And it's not even expensive either.
No,
for flying private, not that expensive.
Yeah, it was like $199. I was like, what? How did I not hear about this before?
Right.
So definitely recommend JSX.
Yep.
All right, so let's start off. What's King? Tell us about your show that's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yep, that's next Saturday. We're doing that the 19th. It's in the heart of Hollywood, off of Melrose on Highland Avenue. Merle's going to be setting up there. He's got a couple tables with us, and great curator set up at a couple shows with us. It's a really fun show. We got a full bar, 21 plus, of course. You got to be drinking. But we're live streaming games always, sports games. Next week, we're going to do all old school all-star basketball games because it's all-star weekend next week. So,
awesome.
And there's no sports, so that, there's nothing that's going. So that'll be fun. Games from 90s, 2000s, we'll be doing that. We got those on the big screen. We play some cool old school hip-hop music. Really fun show, really fun vibe we got going on. So if you guys are in the LA, SoCal area, definitely come down. Got lots of giveaways we're doing, Kobe rookies, bunch of Pokemon TCG stuff for the kids. So
good.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
And so this is your Instagram page, and your show is going to be not that far away from Hollywood Boulevard, correct?
Yeah, no, we're kind of right in the middle. Like I said, off of Highland Boulevard or off of Highland Ave and Melrose Ave, kind of at that intersection right there. Plenty of parking there. All the businesses on Highland are closed that day. So it's a big, wide street, plenty of parking, free parking. So yeah, it's a great time, man. It's a really fun show. Everybody that comes down to our show, they always say it's, you know, one of the most fun times they've had at a show.
Yeah,
you know, it's a real like family oriented. Yeah, FD, look up his YouTube. He's got a bunch of, what do you do, 2 or 3 reviews on the show? I think you did 2 of them, right?
I think we did 2 or 3. I think we did a third. We did 2 where we walked and purchased, and we did a third where I brought someone that's a collector to the show.
Yeah.
They hadn't been to shows in like 20 years.
Yeah, those are really cool, like in-depth walkthroughs you did too. I appreciate you doing that. You know, those are really cool. Yeah. So those are cool. Yeah, I remember I was on YouTube. They just kind of popped up. Rolling with FD LA Proper Show. It's really cool how you do that, man. You do a really good job of your show analysis that you do. Like of all the shows, you know, you've done the Union Marketplace, every kind of show, man. Hats off to you for taking the time, putting in that effort, all those reviews. You know, if anybody's wondering about how this show, that show is, FD does a great job explaining all that stuff. So
we try to walk tables. We want to showcase the vendors that are there, and also the location that is held at, and just allow them to see the show if they aren't there. But Alex, let us know as well what's going on with Del Mar coming up, and also other functions that you have.
Yeah, so we have Del Mar, and first and foremost, I agree 100%, FD. I love the way that you've been breaking it down. You're very entertaining to watch, and I think it's healthy that we have an explanation of why we're doing things. I like how you get into depth, and it's a pleasure to talk to you. I know we've had a couple conversations, you know, and just talking to you has been really nice. But so upcoming shows, we got Del Mar, obviously going to be a 3-day, our biggest show that we've had so far, and that's going to be April 29th to May 1st. So we're just locking in the details on everything. A lot of these guys know. This event stuff is no joke. It takes a lot out of you. There's people pulling you from all directions. But when you remember why you're doing it, and it's really everybody in here, like it's crazy just to see everybody's trajectory from mamabreaks. So you feel like a full-blown celebrity. It's crazy. JD, I've been watching your stuff. Like, it's really cool to see what you've been doing and how you've been doing. You kind of put your own little feel on it, and I don't even think we've ever had a chance to really sit down and talk. But I feel like I know you guys all in a certain way. The curator, he's another celebrity in the house. And I remember like my first or second show, Deep, I was just like, dang, this is really cool to see. And it's going to be really cool to see. I'm already thinking ahead, like where are all these guys going to be in like another year from now if we keep on maintaining this hobby, if we're all doing our part maintaining this hobby and continue to grow. And it's really cool to see, and to even think that you played any sort of role in helping that at all, like it is a really special feeling. Because there's been times, honestly, God, I have just been like beat. I'm just like, bro, Wiley. Like, thank God I have my partner Wiley, and I'm sure you guys are a great guy.
Shout out to Wiley. Yeah.
Huge shout out to Wiley. And then we have the other show, to answer your question, is this Friday, which is actually my birthday. Woo woo. And that one's in the Escondido at the Performing Arts Center, which that's personally my favorite show. I actually get a chance to breathe a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And get to really walk around and talk and just get to know people, you know. And that's my biggest thing is I'm a collector. Like I love collecting. If I could just go to card shows every single weekend, I would. I got a little 8-year-old and I coach all his teams, so he takes up a lot of time. But I'm proud of all you guys in here, and even some of the guys I haven't really had a chance to talk to. It's really cool to see, and you guys are doing a great job for this hobby, and I'm just happy to be a part of this.
So, Alex, before you came in, I appreciate everything you said. That's why I wanted to get all these great people together and have a conversation. But we were talking about who we PC beyond like Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. Who are a player or players that are really keen to your collection right now?
Well, right now I was really high on Jordan Poole. I still am actually. And Darius Garland's another guy. If you're ever looking into like the speculative type of plays, those are two big guys that I was really hype on in the beginning of the season. I figured Poole was going to take a little bit of a dip when Clay came back, but that kid can ball. Like any other team, I think he takes somebody's starting position, but Clay, nobody's taking Klay Thompson's position.
That's true. And Clay had a marvelous game last night.
Yeah, he did.
Marvelous 3 points, shooting threes, playing defense, trash talking to the opposing players. It was just like Klay Thompson 3-4 years ago.
That's your squad though, FT. You're a little jaded. I know you are.
Oh, you think I like Golden State, huh?
That's what I heard, man. You don't think I watch your video? I watch your video.
You like Curry.
I got a Wiseman. Matter of fact, I got a Wiseman for you somewhere around.
You got a Wiseman?
I do have a Wiseman. Next time I
can't wait to meet up with you, Alex.
Yeah, right. It's a great way to promote the show right there. I do. I have a card for you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's kind of cool. It's cool. It's good that you were able to join us with your flight and everything. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I really try to stay on a tight schedule, but I made it.
Oh, Brad said the Super Bowl in 2024 is in Vegas.
Yes.
Let's all go.
So we have Arizona, then we have Vegas.
They're all staying on the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, put that in your calendars. Jay Can said Elon Musk rookie card is a low number.
Elon Musk.
I've been looking for one of those. Hard to find.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
Like $500 raw.
Damn, Elon Musk got a rookie.
Yeah, so
the top Trump. It's a top Trumps card.
Top Trump.
So what about
Dan?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Hero 3 asks about what about MetaZoo? Anyone going big on those? Anybody here?
I tried to get into it, but I was a little bit late, and I just couldn't jump into it. It's just like a whole different niche, and I already collect too many things.
So what is that? Who can give me a better breakdown of MetaZoo?
It's like Magic the Gathering, but like a new version of it, and it's centered around mythical, legendary creatures, from different regions of the world.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering combined. And it was a Kickstarter project that took off, and then it got I think Steve Aoki partnered with them, and then it got taken over by Topps. I think they manufacture the cards now, so it really just took off. It's not even like a year old, I think.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm into MetaZoo a little bit.
You are?
Yeah, I love it. I love the artwork on it. It's beautiful, especially when you hold it in hand. It's awesome. So and then you can kind of connect it to they have a Philadelphia card, like what you said with the regions. So it's cool. And I'm actually gonna learn how to play the game too. So
awesome.
I think that'd be a really cool addition to some of these shows is actually getting some gameplay in. I heard I've never played Magic. I have a couple of Magic cards, never played it, but I think it'd be really cool to have some activations where we're actually sitting down brawling, playing a little Magic heads up if that's even possible. Is that possible, heads up? Or is that the only way?
It's interesting. Yeah, I know I saw Aoki yesterday breaking MetaZoo at a function for the Super Bowl. So that was it's cool to see.
It's crazy.
Let's look through some of these comments here.
I'm still having to focus just on Marvel and Star Wars cards. It's so much for me right now. And then still trying to do sports. It's just so much.
Hey, Alex, To the Moon gave you a shout out. To the Moon was with us earlier.
There you go.
Oh, what's up, man? What's up, To the Moon? I saw it's crazy. After a Laker game, I saw him on. I want to say the card. It was a show on Bally's. Has anyone seen that production they have? It's the card table. I want to say. Is that right?
Huh? Really?
There's a full-fledged production after the Laker game on the Bally's network, and To the Moon was on there. I was like, wait a second, I know that dude. I'm and it was with one of the Padres pitchers. He was co-hosting it. So I've been trying to get a hold of him. I've had no luck, but it was pretty cool. It was a full-on hour-long segment, and I guess it's going to be a regular thing. So I'll post it. I'll share with everybody the name of it because it's pretty cool for sure.
Awesome.
Please do. So now, Alex, tell us, like, with the Del Mar show, how did you go about picking that location or deciding that's where you wanted the show to be?
Honestly, Wiley and I have really been big on having the proper location, and that was our biggest thing. It was like, okay, when we went to Vegas, we went to Planet Hollywood. Obviously, safety is a big thing, security, and then the different amenities was really big for us too. It's like, okay, if we're gonna do it on Sunday, there needs to be other reasons to be able to come. So like Pachanga, you can have pool day or whatever. You can go gamble, play a little blackjack. So we said this time around, let's just shove all in. Like, and when I say shove all in, like we've taken, which we haven't really, to be completely transparent, we really haven't made a ton, if any, money on these shows. But we're rolling the dice pretty big with the 3-day Del Mar event. But we feel like it just has to happen. It just needs to be a full-on hobby weekend. And there's not many better destinations than Del Mar. I don't know if anyone's ever been there, but it's close to the airport. You got SeaWorld, the zoo, all kinds of things you can come out, bring the family to. And we were like, let's do it. We both went to go see the venue, and we go see venues all the time. And after checking it out, we're like, yeah, let's do this, and let's focus on the detail this go around. Let's be really detail oriented in what we're doing, and let's go all in.
Yeah, and I think it's what you were saying too. It's like with your shows, you're not in it to make money. It's like same thing with us doing our shows. We have a ton of overhead with what we're doing, just because we have a bar, we have a lot of production that goes into a lot of staff and stuff, and we're not in it for the money. And it's just like any show promoter, producer, I think that's one of the most beautiful things about this hobby is, people, if you're in this for the money, if you're throwing shows, this stuff to make money, that you're not going to succeed that way. You got to be it for the love of the hobby, to grow the hobby, have a general interest for it. You're trying to do more than just make money. So like, I commend you for, saying that and being very candid and honest, because, that anybody that throws shows, that's, unless you're doing like, the National or something where, you're obviously making good money there, but everybody throwing these local shows and stuff, doing them every week, once a month, every other month, whatever it is, we're all just doing this just to help the hobby, help it grow, build a community, bring people together,
So we got a question here, Alex, just one more time. When is the Del Mar show? What are the dates?
April 29th through May 1st are going to be the official dates for that. So you guys aren't locked in, contact us.
I'll be there. Me and Merlin, we're going to be there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you guys.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there with bells on.
Give me a table too, Alex.
Yeah,
Can't
Alex,
wait.
This is going to be a show where I travel to and probably spend a night or two.
FD's going to spend the week with us?
Yeah.
Can't wait, man.
Yeah. You can't drive down from LA to Del Mar and then turn around and drive back to LA.
No, I don't want to do that. I had no clue how far it was until Wiley told me.
Yeah,
how far is it?
2.5-hour drive.
That's far for Hollywood, isn't it?
Oh, 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2.5 hours.
It's like going to Palm Springs, same sort of.
Yeah, just like.
Whereas the LA proper show is not even a mile down the street from me, so that's why I'm doing it. It's so convenient for me, so I love it.
Yeah, that's why I did the venue. It's literally a half a mile from my house. Well, yeah, for you, Mer, I did actually.
Yeah, you and your brother, y'all both live very close to me.
Yeah, I live right down the road. I live off of Melrose Ave, and our show is right off of Melrose Ave, so
right.
It was perfect, and it's like I just love the experience. It's a tight-knit community in there, and it's cool, so
yeah, it's a very cool show. Let me ask you all a question. Is anybody watching the Winter Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
My girlfriend loves it. So we watched figure skating, we watched the snowboarding, Chloe Kim, and unfortunately Shaun White got fourth, but Chloe Kim, she was killing it. Then we watched the women's mono bob, which was pretty cool. It's the first event. So it's a one woman bobsled event.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that was pretty neat. And then we watched what was also really cool was the snowboarding, like cross or whatever it's like a motocross, but for snowboarding. And did you see that? Like, it was a men and women's division, and the Americans won, and they were both like 40 years old. So I love that. The elders were winning.
I was watching curling last night on one.
Oh, it was finally on last night?
I was like, what? Like, so
Charles
what,
Barkley
like,
was
how
talking
do
about
you stumble across a sport like that? That's what only thing I can think of. I'm like,
Yeah,
from
right.
a young age, I wanted to be a curler, and I'm like, what is the training regimen like? Like, how did that come about? Like,
there's actually clubs that you can join and you can practice. It's mostly for adults though, like in your local areas. I looked into it because I thought I could be like a curler in the Olympics.
I'm going to the Olympics. I'm going.
Probably requires a lot of dedication though. So,
and
what's crazy is the position you need to be in while you're curling. I mean, that's not easy. And I would imagine there's probably a certain height requirement. I don't think you're 6'7", you're curling. You know. It's an interesting sport though, but that's what's so cool about the Olympics to me, it being summer and winter Olympics, is that you have people who are great at certain sports that most people probably wouldn't even know who they are, but there's a level of dedication that it takes to be great at that.
Yeah. I'm going to sign off, but great chatting with you
King,
all.
thank you, sir. Thank you very
thanks
much.
for hosting this, FD.
I'll see you Saturday.
I'll see you Saturday, man. Yeah.
Yep. So,
I'll take this. Yeah. I'll take this time to sign off too, FDA.
Thank you, Dan. Having me. Thank you, Dan.
Talk to you Tuesday.
Guys.
Next Saturday, 2/19. We start open at 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Come by 755 North Melrose Ave or Highland Avenue, actually. So come by LA Proper Card Show. So
you guys are you guys all sold out?
Beats bumping in the corner.
Yeah, we're sold out on tables right now. Yeah. If you're interested, I can put you on the wait list. If anything opens up, I can let you know. People might cancel last minute, but I was talking to Wiley about it before too. Wiley's a cool dude. Hope to meet you in person one day. I've met Wiley a bunch, at all the shows and stuff. So
yeah, sorry you've had to meet him so many times.
Yeah, right.
He begins to be a pain. He's a pain in my ass, that's for sure.
Right on. All right, guys. Great chatting with you.
See you Saturday.
All right, bye-bye.
Yes, sir. All right.
And then there was 6.
So, JD, what you want to throw out there? What you want to talk about?
Hey, I'm gonna roll out a little bit. So
I don't know. I mean, everybody's. Oh,
hold on.
All right, Stephanie.
I just want to say one thing. I actually met JD at Pachanga at one of Alex's shows, and I really think that my interview with JD at Burbank Cards had a lot to do with me being asked to help with mint, and just I just think that anybody watching and stuff, if you haven't gone to be a vendor at a show yet, you want to do it at Alex's Del Mar. Make the trip, meet people. They do it right, and the opportunities are endless if you go and you put yourself out there at shows. And even if, let's say, you don't pivot and whatever you want to do with your page or your business, it's so fun. The type of cards that come to your table, you wouldn't experience that anywhere else. And as big as they're going to make it, I'm just super excited for it. And again, everybody watching, I'm super excited to meet new people and see new cards too. So that's all I wanted to say before I left.
Mama Breaks.
Appreciate you. That means the world to me, Mama Breaks, and I'm really, really proud to see how far you've come. It's crazy. Like it's nuts, and it's how fast it can happen. So I think you're going to be an inspiration to not only women but just people in the hobby in general. So keep doing what you're doing. We love you at the Union. You know that. So
yeah, I love you guys too, and thank you for having me, FD.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate your time.
See ya,
everybody.
That's always a question I've always had for you guys, like FD.
What's up?
Like, do you think there's enough diversity in the card market, and do you think it is growing and improving? What do you guys think?
Whenever I think of diversity,
especially with women, because I don't see much women, but now I see more than I did, say, 2 years ago. But is it getting there?
Well, when I think of diversity, right, I don't think there can ever be enough diversity.
No, of course.
There's always new people coming to the hobby. I think people that'll see everyone that's been on this show and other shows that are happening, and even going to shows in person, we'll see different people. And I think the more people see different folks talking about any one subject, it allows more people to say, hey, you know what? If I have an interest in that, that's something that I can do. So, and that's why I wanted this group to get together, because there's a lot of people that I talk to. I don't know if everyone knows each other, but and I think a lot of people are strong contributors to what's going on in the hobby. So I wanted to bring people together after a major event like the Super Bowl and just like get to know each other more and just talk about things. And I think the more we have experiences like that, it's always a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna piggyback off of that.
Please do.
I think it's growing, but what I find is that a lot of my friends who collected are women. And I do too to a certain degree. We just kind of like to stay silent and collect out of our pure love and like build and just be like kind of tight knit with people who are like basically the same minded. So that's what I find, because it's a ton of women collectors and they have some awesome collections, but they don't want to necessarily deal with the other stuff other than the cards, but like you said, more and more, like even when I go to shows, like I don't see as much women there as I would like to, as far as just like this growth and exposure, but I can't say it's getting there because I don't see enough youth either. I normally go to shows and do this with my daughter. She's 6, and and she's really into cards. Like we just came back from Alaska today, and on our trip we went to a card shop. We went to a card shop there, and we was in this card shop. We got out the Uber, and we was in there for about 2.5 hours in Alaska. Like I was going through like 50-cent bins, and we ripped a little bit, and we just talking to some local collectors and stuff. But I do it purely just for the love and passion of it, and I think a lot of women fall in the same boat as me.
Yeah, you're definitely a unicorn, and we need more unicorns in this hobby, because it's great. I mean, from what I saw it from like even 2 or 3 years ago, the diversity has grown a lot. I mean, it's definitely there's not enough women, especially minority women. So, what do we do to make this hobby more diverse? Sorry, all my cards down. Getting passionate here.
Yeah,
I kind of think the more you get children involved, young people involved, and you kind of bring them up. I mean, that's how I got involved in the hobby. Being a young person, having an influencer. In my case, it was my father, who took time with me to tell me about stuff that happened way before I was born, certain athletes and what they were doing, and kind of break that down to me. And then that's always been a part of my thinking even when it comes to athletes now, like, how did they stack up against what was before them and what led to them being the position player they are now, It's like you take Jim Brown, for instance, right? He was probably about 6'1", 6'2", 235 pounds. Average offensive lineman at the time, weighed the same thing he did. So if you go back in his story, you understand why he started playing running back, why he started playing fullback. Because that's what he wanted to do. That's why I love Jim Brown, because that's what he wanted to do. He wasn't following anybody. He wasn't listening he had some coaches that told him what they thought he should play, but that's not what Jim Brown wanted to play. So when I started learning more and more about different people and being young, and it's kind of on those who are at shows, right? I try to spend a lot of time with young people when I'm at a show to talk to them, to understand what's going on with them, what are they thinking about. Why are they interested in a certain player, and let them do more of the talking than I'm doing. And I think that works well.
Yes,
I like that. I love the introspective thinking you have with the FD. That's huge, and I see it with my son's friends. They come over and they all are in the cards now, right? And they go to the blue chip players. And he's on a basketball team, so a lot of them they know the basketball players, obviously, because they watch them. But it's been interesting because I really feel like that there's been a resurgence, not only with the COVID kind of making it boom a little bit, but we're all kind of a little bit older now. Like I'm 34, I have a son who's 8. Now he's into it. Like we have a little bit of money now, mid-30s. We're able to actually get heavy into the game if we want to. And then our kids are obviously sitting there watching and going to take interest in what we're doing. So I think it's obviously I think having kids is really important into the industry, but I think we're seeing that quite a bit more. It's just the prices I think got out of control for a little bit, and that's another thing. Like I really think we all need to stay conscious and aware of is because if we can't get this new generation involved in it, it's gonna what does that leave us? And the best industry I have to compare it to is I'm actually into stamps a little bit. I don't know if anybody else is into stamps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the average stamp collector, I think the average age is like 68. So I was chopping it up with the stamp dude, and he's like, well, it's going like this. It's on the decline constantly because they're dying. Like literally, like there's not many collectors that are around. So I really like stamp because there's a story behind each and every stamp, and I think it was kind of cool. And I'm kind of an old soul, but I mean, we all have that responsibility to get the youth more involved. My son wants to set up a table, and I'm like, all right, well, what do you like for what? He's like, because I want to sell all my cards and make some money. I'm like, you got to have more of a plan than that, dude. Like, what are you gonna sell it for? He's like, I don't know. Like, well, you should think about what you get it for. He's like, I don't know. You bought it. I'm like, well, you gotta put your business hat on, son. So, and that's another thing. It's a great way to implement the business mentality to a small degree.
True. Mm-hmm. Like I just recently, the last card stock trading show, I took my 6-year-old son to that show. The first show that he's been at.
Oh my gosh! Oh, he was there. Wow.
Yeah. He came that Sunday. We walked around.
Oh, he was on Sunday. I thought I didn't see him. I was only there Saturday, so
yeah.
I was
like, I thought on that Sunday it might be a few less people, a little more room for him.
Yeah, a little dangerous on Saturday for sure.
Saturday was not an environment I would
take. He would have been trampled over.
Yeah, but it was good to let him walk around and talk to people on his own. And he was in the car practicing his handshake, and we got there. He's talking to people, and I'm standing there looking at him.
Adorable.
He has I say this all the time. He has a personality that was like me when I was maybe 9, not 6. At 6, I was more a little more introverted. I didn't talk to a lot of people like that. But Junior will walk up to people and just start talking to them. So he started talking to folks and shaking hands, and he was excited because people knew me, so they knew him. And then like he has a small YouTube channel, so he was asking people, "Do you watch my channel?"
Oh,
that's just him having that confidence to say that. But it was cool to see him and step back and then think about when my father took me to my first show when I was 13 and Junior's 6, and he's going to. And now when we came back home, he was talking about when's the next time I'm going to a show.
Love it.
Yep. JD, weren't you at the latest Philly show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was last Sunday. I don't remember. Yeah, it was actually still this week. I just got back.
Because me and my daughter, I live in Philly. Me and my daughter was at the show, but your table was so busy we didn't have time to stop. But I saw you. I saw you there though.
Yeah, I was with Jets. So like my goal this year is to go to like a show out of state every month. So I already planned next month for March, and then April I obviously got the union that weekend. So I'm excited for that. So I just try to I just honestly just like networking with people and just building my brand outside of California, because you do so many shows in LA every weekend. You meet the same people every day, but when you go to different shows, different cities, your network just grows. You meet different people.
So true.
You get to connect. Do collabs. That's what I did. That's one of the reasons why I went out there. I did a collab with Jets. I met FD. I mean, I know FD is in LA, but you still get the point that my goal this year is just to like just move around as much, because Instagram and social media could get you so far. Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in meeting people face to face. And just chopping it up. Like I talk to everybody. Well, mostly not every. I talk to FD, Alex, and all of them when I see them, and we have like cool conversations. So my content is I want to try to show that, just to show a different type of perspective on the hobby. And I feel like, going to different shows and stuff and meeting different people and telling different stories is another way of expanding my content, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. What did you think about the Philly crowd?
I was telling FD, it's great. Like the shows in the East Coast is totally different. they're super passionate about what they do over there. Like their teams, the players, like it for a Sunday, I was telling everybody for a Sunday it was really packed. Maybe because it was the only thing going on that weekend, but usually over here on Sundays it kind of dies down. But over there, man, it felt crazy. It really felt like a Saturday show.
Yeah.
And you could just tell you could really feel the passion when they talk about their players and the cars, especially the Sixer fans and the Eagles fans, man. They act like they didn't do nothing wrong this year, but that's the main reason was like going, just seeing different stories about different cards and different people and why they collect and everything, and it's just cool, But if you come out here to LA, you'll see how different it is over here too.
Yeah.
People, how they love Kobe, how they love Shaq, like all these players over here, and you could just like see the differences and how it is, but you have to be there to see it to really like explain it.
Were they buying up your Harden cards? Did you bring any?
No, I didn't bring any Harden cards. I don't like James Harden, man.
Yeah, but maybe the Philadelphia crowd did.
Oh no, what I brought was I brought a lot of AIs, Allen Iversons, and those really sold. So I was really surprised. People are asking, what's this guy? Embiid, Maxey,
Oh wow.
What's the McNabb,
Tobias
like
Harris.
all this Tobias Harris, all these Philly greats. I was like, man, it's in LA it's different because all we got is Kobe, Shaq, and then LeBron and everything. But I'm saying, like in Philly, like you could see that like they know their team. Like, they're talking about what's this Raja Bell, Ray Allen. I know Ray Allen's not from Philly, but just hearing Ray Allen, like some guy was coming up to the table talking about, you guys have any Ray Allens? You have any just older players, Magic Johnson, Barkley. I totally forgot about Barkley, honestly. I totally forgot he played for Philly. So it was it's just cool. It's just like one of those, and that's the thing, they love vintage over there too. A lot of like 90s and 80s cards. I was shocked of how many cards they had there. Yeah, the hoops, a lot. Of course, you got MJ, Barkley, Kareem, all Magic. It felt like a vintage show, but not really. If you know what I'm trying to say, it was like a good mixture. So it was a really good time.
That's
awesome.
JD,
I really love what you're doing, man. I think it's the way you put on that production. You've done it in a real crisp way. Like it's visually. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's JD doing now? And it's like I was saying before, I know we haven't had those like one-on-one heart-to-hearts. We will though. We will. And I think it would be what I was thinking. Like it would be really cool to get some behind-the-scenes footage. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, damn, it would be really neat to really just showcase the not so pretty parts of the making a deal, or the tough parts, or how the rebuttals, and having something like that would be real cool. That's why FD it's so neat because you ask questions. You're like, okay, well, where are you getting that price from, or what like you're getting into detail. So I was thinking that for you, and then obviously the content you're making already, I think it's cool, and you're strategic with what you're doing and talking about. So kudos to you, man.
Yeah,
Alex, I appreciate that. And JD, I appreciate you too. Go ahead, JD.
No, but I was like, me and FD were talking about the other day. Is just the conversation of the hobby needs to change just a little bit. Just not about the cards like you're saying, like all of the behind the scenes type stuff. If we could just change it just a little bit this year, I feel like the hobby will grow even more. Because I feel like when I say this, I don't want nobody to get mad, but I feel like the buying cards and what we're selling and trading, all that stuff kind of gets a little played out. So I feel like we should just focus on the person more a little bit, the story behind it, and from there, I feel like the hobby will grow a lot more because it's more real, authentic. You know what I mean? Compared to everything else.
I fully agree with you. That's my mindset too. It's my daughter. Say hi, Terry.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
what's going on?
About some cards.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The focus has to be about the player, the sport, the history, the appreciation. And I was born and raised in Philly, and like as you can tell, like we're a city that like appreciates those things, and even when it translates to cards, But like when I went to like Dallas or Tampa, like I realized like how like transactional a lot of people are with it, and they don't even care about the players or necessarily like in depth. So I totally agree with you, and I think you guys who are making content will help change that narrative for the better, especially for the younger kids, especially like the teenage kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
To
that's
me,
the goal this year too.
The conversation is what it's all about. JD collects Kyrie. You know, I know that. Love What You Collect has a Harriet Tubman card. Right?
Oh, I saw that on your post.
I know that.
I didn't know they even existed. That's
wild. You know, Merle sells a lot of different stuff at his table, and he also has great sports cards at his table.
Yeah, I collected it all, man.
Yeah,
so much.
You know,
but like I said, I was just like, I think part of me also was just, I mean, I love sports. I won't quit collecting sports or selling sports cards, but I started at some point I was getting a little burned out after a while, and I started feeling like the athletes were just becoming numbers to people. You know, everybody was just flipping, you know, right after COVID and everything. And I was feeling like, God, are they collecting this? Or are they just looking to flip this? And I would see them, you know, flip the cards right next to me after they bought it from me, and then flip it for another $100 to their friend. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I was like, man, I got to do something again where, I mean, I love collecting regardless. I love collecting everything. So what can I collect that I can enjoy that I can also bring to my table? So I just started, you know, buying, you know, non-sport stuff. I started buying the Marvel, the Star Wars, the music cards, the celebrity cards, and it made more people come to my table and having more interesting, different conversations in the same old conversation. And that made it fun. And I also saw it cross over too. So a lot of people who were just, you know, these people who were flipping sports cards now were buying the non-sports from me, like the Justin Bieber card or something. And because it was a change, and they even loved talking about it. And I love those conversations with people. It makes it so magical.
Yeah, that's really what it's all. That's what it's all about to me.
Or I just love the reactions on people's faces. They come in your display case, they just go, "Whoa, that's a card! Wow, that exists! Like, oh my gosh, look at that card!" And they'll say, "Do you mind if I take a picture?" And that's what I need to do. I need to charge $1 per photo. Because if I charged $1 per photo, I would be a millionaire right now. I really would.
Wow.
I would be going. I need a tip jar. FD.
Yeah, like you said, that's the conversations that you have when you set up at shows are just like, wow. You walk away from those deals sometimes with the tables, you're just like, dang, I learned something new. Like it's deeper than what these cards and what it is, you know. And those are like the coolest conversations because they're so real, you know. They're so authentic when you're talking to, especially when I talk to FD, when I talk to Merlin once in a while. Like it's just you could just tell the passion behind it. You know, it's not always about the numbers game or the dollars games. It's always more about the, you know, let's talk about just the card. No, I'm sorry, my bad, because I just got an email. So I don't know if you guys know who Tyson Beck is.
Oh yeah, of course.
So yeah, I've been trying to lock him up in the interview lately, and he doesn't message me back. So, but yeah, you know, just is this one of those things where like you put in so much work into your craft, like, you know, FD, Merlin, everybody, that, you know, once you start getting recognition, like it makes you motivated to go even more harder than before. So, you know, just wanted to share that out there.
Very true. At least those are the things that get me excited about collecting, getting to know people, meeting people, people all around the country. Like JD flew out to Philly and Love What You Collect with Erica was right there.
I didn't know. If you would have told me, I would have stopped by.
I know. I see you with that, but your table was slamming, which is good. And I was only in there at the show for maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, but that was a pretty good show. That was a pretty good show.
I was surprised. Yeah,
it was good.
Really
and I love when shows are at casinos too. It just adds an extra level of like safety, and you know, I love that too.
Yeah,
I've heard more and more shows say that about the safety aspect, more security around.
Yeah, it was great because last week, Dan and I, Great Curator, we were in Houston, and I met, you know, physically in person, Dakota, you know, Sports Cards Anonymous. So it's always great to meet these guys. And then when we were in Dallas, you know, meeting all these other content people, I mean, to see them in person, in the flesh, is so surreal after you've been watching them for the past like year and a half, almost 2 years. It's like, what? This is like so weird.
Yeah, I had that feeling like the last few days too. when I was with Jets, and then when I was with FD doing the interview the other day. Like, it's one of those things where you watch before I do interviews with anybody. I'm a fan of their work, right? I research, I don't want to sound weird, but I research. I I see what their what their goal is and everything, so that way when I have the questions ready, I'm good to go. So when I'm actually hanging out with them, I take a second back and like, damn, like I'm really with somebody that's like changing the game or contributing to the hobby in a positive way. So that's why I like doing these collabs, because like you actually like get to work with people that inspire you to be better, as you will say. But yeah, it's just crazy when you do these collabs, like with all three of you guys. Now I'm just like, man, like now is this a different mindset when I get out of here? Like, man, like I see how passionate you guys are about it, and I just want to just do more now after this meetup.
Definitely. That's why I try to tell everyone, like, making the money is not what gets me the high. I mean, it's great and all, like, it's amazing to make the money, but what gets me the high is the people's love for all this, and have it, the interaction, the conversation, the reactions, because all four of us here, I'm sure we all have the gift of gab, we all love to talk, but to have to talk with others and just talk about things you love is such like a treat to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
100% agree. Wait, so you're from Philly? So it's like what, 12 o'clock right now?
Yeah, it's midnight. Yep. I'm a late bird.
You're burning the candle. You don't have to work tomorrow?
I do, but I normally stay up late.
Oh gosh, what time do you have to wake up?
Man.
About 6:37.
You're a trooper. I don't know how you can do that.
I can't do that anymore.
No.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
I'm kind of built like this, though. I'm kind of built like this.
Whew.
Hey, what I will say is that if I have a question, I hit Erica with it, she's gonna hit me back. If she has a question and she hits me with it, I'm gonna try to hit her back. I love the way she thinks about stuff. Early, I think when we were in the channel for a little bit, I noticed that she had taken her daughter to a local card store, and that just flipped a switch in my head. Yeah. That's a true story, Erica. I saw your post about taking your daughter to a show, and I even told some people, like, she's taking her daughter to a local card shop. I gotta get to know her. I gotta get to know her.
Yes, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. Beautiful thing. I've loved doing it with my daughters. It's cool. And like I remember we go to Jersey about like an hour, 20 minutes away and set up. And then the first time we say hey Terry, but first time we set up, it was some young kids that came by the table. They might have been like about 10 to 12 years old. It was 4 of them. And you could tell they were new into the hobby because they were just holding their hands, like the cards in their hands and fumbling it. But then they were talking to each other, like looking at cards, and they were like, man, do you like this card? And the other kid was like, yeah, I do. And the other one was like, that card looks so cool. And the other one, and they just talking about the looks. They weren't worried about the money. They weren't worried necessarily about like it being LeBron. Like I told them, I said, like, just continue with that. Like, put the collecting and what you like, and like figure out what you like first, and then everything else will come along, And and I don't do trades and stuff like that, but anytime my kids come up, genuinely, I go out my way to like make trades or like get them comfortable with this interactions, because they get intimidated, when they go to the tables with just slabs or high dollar cards, So I just try to make it very comfortable for the youth, because I'm a strong believer that the youth will continue to carry it along the card hobby if we allow it to. But it's up to us. It is really up to us to set it.
Yeah, and if you talk to people who are either young in age or young in collecting, they have great ideas to share if you just listen and talk to them.
Yep.
But I want to say what's up to Jets Mamba. I know I haven't had a chance to meet Jets Mamba yet, but I want to say what's up.
Collector.
Man, I'm trying to get him the Union show in April, so I'm trying to make it happen so we could do like a big YouTube thing.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet him. I watch Jets. I watch your content. I enjoy it. So I can't wait to actually meet you in person as well and say hello. Talk to you.
So Jets Mamba will be at the Union Marketplace.
No, I don't know. Don't.
Okay.
Don't say. I'm trying to.
JD will though, right?
Yeah, I already have something planned with that show already, but I'm trying to get him to come out here. So we'll see how that goes.
That's cool.
And then who's going to be at the next week's show at the LA proper? Any of you all?
I might stop by. I'll stop by for a little.
Yeah, I'll be there. And then, are y'all anyone going to Atlanta?
I am.
Collision? You will. I'll be there.
Me and my daughter gonna fly out and go.
Yay!
Monday and represent and support, and we're looking forward to it. We haven't been to a show in Atlanta, so it should.
Neither have I.
Gonna be good.
The last time I went to Atlanta for a show was in 1992. They had the National Convention there that year.
Wow!
And I was there. I did. Kind of tell you how old I am.
Well, I think y'all are in store for a great show. I think it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, we have a lot of activity, and then we do Dallas the following week after that.
So you go to Atlanta and then to Dallas?
Mm-hmm. Me and Dan.
Man, I thought I was crazy.
Oh man, I got the bug now, JD. Now after I've left LA and discovered at the Dallas and everything, and it changed my life.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Well, Merle, let me ask you this question: when you go to Dallas, are you eating the food that you could eat in LA? Or are you really getting into the Dallas cuisine?
Oh man, hold on.
Dallas, we didn't. What Dan Curator took me because he had already been before, so we went and had this Brazilian pizza place, and it was kind of worked the same way as like the Brazilian steakhouses do, where they just constantly bring all these like gourmet pizzas to your table, and you have to finally tell them like stop, no more. But it was really good, and the top cocktails were delicious. But that's the only place we really ate that we had time to eat between that and trade night. But we were in Houston last week at the TriStar show, and we had some awesome barbecue. I mean, we had so much meat last week that I just went and drank nothing but juices and ate vegetables and vegan meals all week, FD. Yeah, you've been proud of me this week because I was bad last weekend.
We know Houston has great food.
Yes, they do.
My brother lives in Houston. It's great food.
And it was a very nice part of town. So there's really a lot of nice restaurants.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of nice seafood restaurants that we ate at. So yeah, definitely good food.
So what about you, JD? Will you get a Philly steak or what?
I had
the extra cheese and onions or something.
Yeah, it was all right. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we went to Geno's because it was down to it was a floor below. I wanted to go to a different one. It was like not Angeline. I don't know. It started with an A. I don't know, but I had Geno's and it was alright. I'm not gonna. I wanted something more authentic. It was in the casino. If it was already, I was like, man, I want to go to somewhere like an actual restaurant and go and eat. But I didn't have too much time for that. But it was alright. The Philly cheesesteak was cool. I mean, I give it a 7 out of 10.
So next time, Eric can drop some knowledge on you.
Yeah,
I know. I mean,
next time you come, hit me up. Yeah,
I think
Eric will take care of you, man.
We don't eat Pats and Geno's here. That's
the other one was Pat's, and I was like, oh man, but Geno's was it was downstairs. I was like, let me just try it. But it was alright. I mean, I could have went to our Jersey Mike's over here, and I would have been okay.
Wow, that's hilarious. So, Erica, if you're in Philly,
yes.
Besides Philly cheesesteaks, like what's some Philly food?
Water ice was huge. We love water ice. Pretzels, big thing. But that's probably the 3 biggest staples. That's our 3 biggest.
What is water ice? Like a restaurant?
Water ice. It's like snow ice with flavor.
Oh, like okay,
like a slushy.
Icy. We call
I got you.
Call it water ice. I actually one of my favorite spots is right across the street from Overbrook High School, where Wilt Chamberlain went to high school. So I live like literally 3 minutes away from there anyway. But yeah, so it was cool.
That's crazy. Water ice. See, you guys
a lot of history. A lot of history in Philly.
Every city has a different way of saying the same. Like slushy.
Yeah, the same thing.
I thought it was something totally different.
We would call that a slush cone or a slushy cone.
Water ice.
Okay. I thought you were talking about like some restaurant. Like, okay.
Or the Filipino version, the halo halo.
Yeah.
I love that stuff, man.
I have one downstairs after I'm about to go have.
JD, you're making me hungry now. I have a sweet tooth after eating all these hot dogs and steak. I just ate a lot of meat tonight. God, my doctor's gonna kill me.
What did you have? What did you have tonight for the game?
Oh my gosh. I had hot dogs wrapped in bacon. I had steak. I had a bunch of like dips with mystery meats in it. But it's all like homemade. I mean, they kept grilling and oh my gosh. And then there was pies and cakes and oh my, it was just like a Vegas buffet. It was insane.
I said in the grocery store, I was in the grocery store today and I said, people about to throw the next month away tonight. You know, when they're watching the game, it's all good. You got to celebrate though. It's a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
It's once a year.
Don't worry, FD. I'm gonna go do some, 100 burpees tomorrow and
Oh, you're gonna be good, man.
Yes,
you're gonna be. I see you
I'm
on
gonna be
Saturday.
dying.
I wouldn't even know when I see you on Saturday. I was like, I didn't know you even ate that.
Yeah, I do yoga every single day and work out, but it doesn't help.
Oh well, right.
A little. I still go in pain. I work out and I'm in more pain after my workout than ever. But I still have to do it mentally, get myself, going. Otherwise, I'll have insomnia.
Oh well, yeah, working out definitely helps me sleep better. So, Erica, you say you're going to Atlanta?
Yep.
And then where are you going after that?
Well, Atlanta's the only one. The Philly Card Show back in March.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to Atlanta. So it's cool. The good thing about living in the Philly area, we got all these different airports, and so it's really competitive pricing on flights if you book right. So,
and you got so many great cities around you too.
Yeah, like New York and DC, Baltimore, Jersey. So
you can even pop down to Miami in no time.
On a flight, Miami far though, but on a flight,
it's that far on the flight though.
Yeah, it's not. It's not that far. It's not that far on the flight.
I remember I used to have a job once. Whenever we had a meeting on the East Coast, everything was open. I mean, we were flying to Miami for a meeting. Somebody might be in DC, somebody might be in Jersey in no time.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's like
that
hour 50 minutes.
It's so
very close. Oh yeah.
I
The other
realize
parts
how
of the
close,
country is like
Jersey
destination. If you're flying out to, and if you're going to like Vegas from New York, yeah, that's a flight.
Yeah, it's like a 5 hour. So
yeah, that's a flight.
Yep,
it's good.
Yeah,
I appreciate all of you being on tonight, even the people that aren't here right now. I appreciate everybody getting on here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to sign out myself because my girlfriend has to get up early in the morning, and I promised I would watch 90 Day Fiance with her tonight before she goes to bed.
Yes.
And we'll talk all about it on Saturday, FD.
Yes,
okay?
I'll stop by your table and get the scoop, man.
I'll see y'all guys on Saturday. Pleasure meeting you. I'll see you in Atlanta, okay?
Yes, I will.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, I'll see you guys too. Appreciate it.
Jay, you have a good one. So, Erica, you make sure that when Merle and y'all are kicking it in Atlanta, you hook them up with some food.
I will. Yeah. Yep.
Take them to the spots.
Yep.
So, what else is new and exciting with you before you go?
Nothing much. Like I said, we just came back from our trip from Alaska.
Tell me about Alaska. What was going on in Alaska?
Well, we love to travel. So, Alaska is somewhere we always wanted to go. I was able to book a very cost-effective trip, and we went. And we were mainly in Anchorage, and then we did drive out to Palmer and visited a reindeer farm and saw some animals, and just got to spend a lot of time in nature. Like I said, we did find a really cool sports card shop. We had a lot of fun. It was very relaxing vibe.
What's the next trip you're thinking about making?
Well, the Atlanta will be in 2 weeks, and then after Atlanta, in May, we're going back to New Orleans.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I have a love for New Orleans, So yeah,
I've been there twice. That is a nice place to visit.
It's wonderful. Yeah,
a lot of culture, good food to eat. Just a lot of culture, though.
That's why I love New Orleans, the culture.
And I was there, right? I was there last time I was there was 2003, and so it was.
Wow, that's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the week I was there, it rained for an entire week, but and I was there for around Mardi Gras.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's a nice experience.
Yeah, it was interesting. The way I'm wired, 50 people in a small room, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I still tried to find a way to enjoy myself. But it was just a lot of people around, and you would come out at 6 to 8 in the morning, and it almost seemed like it was like 10 midnight at night. Like people
that's awesome.
Still enjoying themselves.
That's awesome experience.
Yeah, it was interesting for a full week. I was there. Spent a little time on Bourbon Street and than when other places. It was good. Food was good.
Mm-hmm.
All fresh boils on the street. It was a good time. You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah. We love it. We love it. So it's gonna be awesome. So it's cool. Yep.
You ever had a thought of coming to like Los Angeles to a card show?
I thought of yes. It's been a recent thought within the last few months, and I actually think I probably will. So I got to figure out which show, and then I'll make it happen.
Well, we were thinking about like trying to get to a Vegas show.
Okay.
Maybe go to a show in San Diego. Maybe get back to the Bay Area. There are a few places that we would like to go in 2022, but we will see. Then at some point, I'd like to go to like a Dallas show, get to Atlanta, maybe even go to some on the East Coast eventually. But I mean, it's just good to talk to people that are in different parts of the country and what they're experiencing while they're there. It's so cool that JD, went out. He also went to, I think, Boston a little bit before that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely think it definitely opens up your horizons by going to all these different regions, and because everybody operates totally different in a way they collect or the way they're investing. So it's just
I can say that being here in LA is very different than any show I ever went to in the Midwest.
Really?
Yeah, very different. Like you will see more vintage, and I've been to shows in Kansas City, Chicago. You will see more vintage out than you would in Los Angeles that I have seen.
Okay.
And that's just a difference. It's not saying that one is any better than the other. It's just something that's different. There's something I noticed when I first started really coming to shows. It's like, okay. But I can dibble and dabble. I feel like I can there's some vintage stuff that is on my radar.
Yeah.
If I went to somewhere that had all vintage, I'm good. If I went somewhere that had all modern cards, I feel pretty good about that. If there was a market that had only hockey, there's some stuff that I'm interested in hockey. I'm learning more and more about Marvel cards. I try to stay open.
Yes.
I just try to stay pretty much open to what's going on. The hobby is ever changing, so it's always something new and exciting going on, or something is evolving, or there's a new trend or something to kind of check out. So I try to stay open-minded.
Yes, that's awesome. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. Yep.
Well, I know it's getting late where you are. I really appreciate you being on. I appreciate every guest that has been on here tonight. This is something that is special to be a part of, to talk to people about different things that they do, like from even to the moon breaking and all the way down to everybody else that's been here. It's been a great time.
Yes, thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it. And
I
enjoyed the Super Bowl, a great Super Bowl and great Super Bowl halftime. So
yeah, that halftime was special, right?
Special.
I thought when they stopped all on stage, we were gonna get like 2 more songs. I felt like I was at a concert, right?
And yeah, I thought another song was coming.
I was like, well, okay, they're gonna hit. What are they gonna hit us with next? And then okay, they went to the commercial.
Yeah.
All right. And you know what they need to do? They need to like bring them back in like 2-3 years or something to really go. Like Mary could have probably put out 3 or 4 herself.
I agree.
I wonder one year would they, probably not for the players though, would they extend halftime so we can really get them jams going?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea.
But as a player, you probably would hate that because then you're in the locker room and people are kicking it, and it's like an hour later and you're stiff. Well, now the clock will tick on who will be in the Super Bowl next year and what's going on in Arizona. But a Super Bowl in 2 years in Vegas will be interesting.
Yes, it will.
We got to find ourselves either in the city, like enjoying ourselves for the Super Bowl, or at the game.
Yes.
At some point. It's on my list of life.
Well, I think Vegas probably be your best bet.
Yeah, probably so. It all depends. Depending on, like, I would like for my son, like I like for G to go to a game, or Junior to go to a game, or let Robert get a little bit older, have him come to a game, and we'll see.
Yep.
We'll definitely see. But thank you for your time. I know it's late where you are. I appreciate you being here. And for all the guests that came through tonight, thank you for coming through. and sharing a little love on what's to play for the Super Bowl after party. Cool?
Peace.
Peace.